Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Alright, welcome in. It is Woodward Nights, baby!
Baby, we're buzzing!
We're buzzing, eh?
The boys are buzzing,
The boys are buzzing, eh? The Red Wings are on.
Yeah.
Let's go. I did not execute the Canadian accent very well.
Dude, it's all about confidence. The execution is half the battle.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some homework. I'm gonna learn some of this hockey slang because we've got Patrick Kane is on the Red Wings, and I don't know, I haven't seen him on the ice yet. All I keep saying is I just want to see that man on the ice. If anyone's seen him on the ice, please put it in the comments for us. But welcome into Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. We've got a full room here again today. My name's Booner, as always. Matthew Broder, Detroit Lions beat reporter for the Woodward Sports Network. And we've got Jalen in the TD booth.
Jalen with the biscuit, eh?
Hey.
That's a hockey
Jalen's buzzing, eh?
Hey.
And we've got Nick in the sound booth.
Let's go. Red Wings maybe stay hot in New York tonight. We'll see, but fired up to check it out. Let's have a great show.
Pistons
Top shelf
number one
clapper?
fan.
Top shelf,
Clapper,
upper
eh?
decky.
Yeah,
Are we going
put
to
the
the
biscuit in
upper
the basket.
decky?
Yeah. Top shelf, eh?
Hey, the barn. Are we going to play at the barn?
Depends if the Duster can do it.
I
At
don't
the
know.
big
I
A.
don't know. I got a website of slang hockey terms.
I don't know if that is one.
It's
Let's
funny.
go on a bender, eh? And then we'll go hit up the barn. And we'll hit some upper deckies, eh? The boys will be buzzing. Yeah, that was good. I executed that one.
That was nice.
That was executed.
Boom, that was a good
I
one.
love watching the hockey podcast with Biz and them. Oh, see you, Lucas. Love you, bro. Lucas is in the room just listening. Like, these boys are wild.
He goes, I hate how those hockey players talk. He
Yeah.
didn't say hate.
No,
Well,
he
kind of.
did.
Yeah.
He said, I don't like how hockey players talk, which is fair.
Which is why we started buzzing.
I do like it. We're gonna have a 6 celly though today.
Yeah,
on the
hookers
show.
everywhere.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be going nuts,
Oh,
man.
a little chop
Upper
shelf.
decky and the cheese, man. Come on, what are we doing here? Let's go play some Chell. I'm sorry, I'm done. All right, welcome in Woodward Nights again. If you guys haven't, as you're coming in, hit that
Please.
like button. We've got a great show, I think, for you guys. A lot of different Lions news came out today. We're going to talk about here in this first segment. Obviously, the Red Wings are on. Patrick Kane. Again, I have not seen him on the ice. If anyone has, please let us know.
No, Nick said he's not playing for at least a week till the Buffalo game next week.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I was
then.
listening, Nick.
Yeah, he said that in his interview.
Sorry.
Said that in his interview earlier today. That I believe it was 7 to 10 days.
Can we play real
That's
quick?
his kind of level.
Jalen, I put the video in there of him heading out. He's in the winged wheel, man. He's in the Red Wings
give me one
gear.
sec, I got it.
He
Great
was
to
at
see.
practice today. It was a beautiful sight. I put it up on Woodward, and a lot of people were like, a lot of Chicago fans were like, oh, I hate this.
They're like,
They hate it.
Yep.
For sure.
No, yeah.
Here it
Oh,
is.
here we go.
Look at this. Patrick Kane, baby.
I wish they had his New Jersey number on it, on the practice unis.
How about that?
Let's go.
He's on the ice, man.
Let's go.
Love to see it.
Need
Love
some
to
lip
see it.
lettuce out of him.
Shout out to the Iser plan too, by the way. D-Mac, shout out to all of that. They
wait patient.
executed.
Patiently waiting like Eminem and 50 Cent. It's working out. It's starting to come to fruition. I love it. I love that there's 2 teams. There might be 3 soon. I'm not talking basketball.
3.
There might be 3 soon, but
Tigers.
there's 2 teams in Detroit that are on the up and up. One is we're expecting to be in the playoffs here in 6 games. The other, the Red Wings, are doing some damage.
Do you remember first week of shows we did give a Detroit prediction, like a bold one, and my prediction was 3 out of the 4 Detroit teams make the playoffs this year.
Wow.
And then in the only bad part is I did expand on it and said in the next 2 or 3 years, all 4 Detroit teams will be in the playoffs. I take that back. I'm just going to say I'm going to stick with my original. I'm going to go with the 3 out of the 4. I think the Tigers win the division this next year. Red Wings obviously have a great chance to make the playoffs. They're favored now to make it. And then we know with the Lions, they're a couple games away from clinching that spot. Things are on the up and up.
Yeah. They are.
We told the tweet yesterday about the Pistons with Tom Gores. We went off a little bit about that. I said it before the show. I think I might have started the wave of, hey, let's all go find out where Tom Gores is.
Yeah, everyone was commenting on that post yet and blowing. You said,
Bad.
where is he? We got to hear him talk. You were talking about Sheila. Sheila came out and addressed the team, addressed the fans at 1-5. You just called them right out.
Everyone was talking about Troy Weaver. It was Troy Weaver, and all I did, we got off the show here, they lost 14 straight, had the rant about it, and I go, wait a second. Do you guys remember when Sheila was 1-5?
What'd she do?
And she came out and talked to the press and said, hey, listen, this is it. I trust in this team. Haven't heard a word from Tom Gores. Don't know if he trusts the team. Don't know if he trusts Troy Weaver. No. We don't know if he trusts Monty Williams. We don't know if he trusts the players. We don't know what's happening in the organization right now. I put the tweet out there, like 120-something thousand views, and there were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments about Tom Gores. And I think that kind of sparked something a little bit. Booner's out there on the front lines fighting.
And
like the Booner path, but for the Pistons.
To pour some gasoline on the fire, and although it's impossible to happen, at least this year, Mark Cuban selling part of the Mavs in the same day. It just kind of we hear good things happening to owners. The team's worth this much money. He's making.
Mark Cuban just got another bag too, by the way.
What was that?
So that they're like allowing gambling in the state of Texas, and he sold his stake to the casino owners. So then he'll have stake in the casinos that they gamble in too. So technically, he's just making moves at this point. Don't ask how I know that though. Don't ask how I know that. But like,
interesting.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Dallas is gonna be one of the first stadiums probably that has like personal. Screens
you're
to bet
living on that, dying on the hill.
No, it's gonna happen.
I don't think it will.
It will someday.
There's no. You know why it won't happen? I'm gonna keep dying on this hill.
Why?
We all have cell phones.
Well, right, but they want control. Like the stadium wants to be able to.
I think first thing that's gonna happen is there will start being sports books in stadiums.
Yeah,
that will be the first step.
It's already happened, and at least in the NFL.
In the NFL, there's a couple. I think that's going to expand to all sports, all stadiums. You're going to start seeing sportsbook pops up. Maybe your thing will come about.
Oh, it will.
I just think with cell phones, it's like I don't know if that exactly will.
Maybe not. It probably has the best chance in baseball, like a slower game. You
That's fair.
Live pitches, yeah.
Because I've tried to live bet at baseball games, and if your phone, like the internet, isn't great, it's like you fall behind quick. So I'm with that actually.
Exactly.
I like that. For the show though today, we've got a lot of different things here. We've got a couple new like weird segments. I feel like I came up with a couple things. 8:15. Some injury updates. We have the injury report for you guys. Dan Campbell spoke to the media. We're going to have something from that. Amon-Ra St. Brown had his podcast, talked about the Saints game.
With Blake Corum.
Which we don't have any Blake Corum stuff yet. I think we should do that tomorrow.
Yeah,
when we talk
I
about
still have to watch the episode.
Michigan, same here. But
I saw clips. I saw clips of him talking.
Great clips.
Mentioned Braylon Edwards.
He did.
Amon-Ra St. Brown had a little hesitate because they were drafting different positions from USC and Michigan, and it got to like the wide receiver and position. And Blake Corum went Braylon Edwards, which I'm impressed. I mean, good for Blake.
Brown, the face that he gave wasn't great.
Good.
He was like,
okay.
He was like blinking a lot. Like he was like, I don't.
But then he was like, I met Braylon like a month ago, and he was cool. And so I think he was just giving his initial response. But good for Blake Corum.
I think it was
being clued into history.
I think it was more so too that USC. It was like the USC Notre Dame Michigan thing, to where they just probably every pick that Blake made, they were probably like, oh, it's bad. Bad pick.
Probably.
I haven't watched it yet, but I'm sure that's
there have been some great wide receivers out of USC.
There's been some dudes.
Yeah, but Braylon's the best of all of them.
Yeah.
As good as they've been.
Notre Dame. I'm trying to think. Any Notre Dame wide receivers?
Jeff Samardzija.
Like who?
That's a good Tim Brown.
USC receivers.
Are there any Notre Dame ones in the league right now?
Dwayne Jarrett.
Besides St. Brown's brother.
USC or Notre Dame?
Notre Dame in the league right now. I don't think there are.
I learned mustaches in hockey are called lip lettuce.
Yeah, you got some good lip lettuce and some lettuce.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Guyton. Oh yeah, he's a baller.
Not Chase
everyone
Claypool.
just mentioned.
Oh, yeah, Chase Claypool. Yeah.
Everyone who was just mentioned, Braylon Edwards.
All right, yeah,
except for Tim Brown.
That.
Tim Brown's right there.
Dog, Braylon, dog.
Tim Brown's a Hall of Famer, right? Yeah, Tim Brown's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. But that's 8:15. We're going to get into some of that. 8:30 locker room interviews. Broder was actually in the locker room. Spoke with Hendon Hooker today.
My first experience
that's
with
8:30. To be honest, might just turn into a Hendon Hooker segment.
It's gonna.
I think we have majority all Hendon Hooker stuff, so I think it's going to turn into a Hendon Hooker. We're going to have some conversations about how we feel about that. 8:45. We're going to talk about Brad Holmes. Like, do we feel like he should make any more moves? There's a couple guys on the market: Shaq Leonard, Shaquille Griffin, Marcus Peters. Sue is still out there. There's some guys. Do we want to see him make a few moves, Broder? 9 o'clock.
Give me Marcus Peters.
I put a list here. I didn't put it on the prep, but in my notes, I made a list here in regards to the players that are going to be free agents at the end of the year.
I was looking through them a little
there
before
are
the
a
show.
lot.
There are a lot.
A lot.
This is why being a GM in the NFL is so hard.
I have a couple statements and some things to talk about in that segment that I think will, I think will give some people some hope. So that's going to be at 9 o'clock, 9:15. There was a list on ESPN. No one's talked about this yet, I don't think. But the ESPN released a list for NFL players under the age of 24, and they basically what they did was do kind of like an all-pro teams. So they did first, second team for each position, offense, defense. The Detroit Lions had 4 guys on that list, kind of, and I think there's a few guys missing. 9:30, we're going to go around the NFL. We do the heat check for players. We're going to do heat check for not almost every NFL team. We're going to take some off the bottom, the teams that aren't going to make the playoffs.
We need to talk about the Panthers and the Cardinals.
Yeah, we'll knock out some heat check there. We'll get a feel around the NFL.
Wow.
Broder, did you see?
Anthony
I saw
Carter
this today.
greater than Braylon Edwards. Sorry, Michael T. I disagree.
Disagree.
Anthony Carter is very good. Don't get me wrong.
Golden Tate, Keyshawn Johnson. Okay. There's some names that these are 3 big brands.
Yeah.
With dudes. So like, there's gonna be some guys. out there.
Yeah.
Braylon did.
No, I know. So Tate did too.
Oh, Golden Tate won the blue. Okay, I did not know that as well. All right, let's get Broder real quick. I want to actually get a question for you. The NFL Pro Bowl, I think the votes opened up this week. I saw Alex Anzalone tweet it out and put an Instagram thing out. I want the chat to do this as well. I want 2 Detroit Lions players off the top of your head that aren't just like Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell, like just random player. I want like some dudes that deserve it that we might not think about.
Frank Ragnow, Ali McNeil, Cam Sutton. I don't know. Tracy Walker may be on the fringe. Frank Ragnow, Jonah Jackson, Graham Glasgow. Jonah might need to play a few more games. Sam Laporta.
Sammy P. He'll get it.
That might be it.
Sammy I think he's an obvious one.
Yeah, I mean, he's in all-pro consideration, to be honest. He's in that conversation.
He's working on it. He's building it.
He might be 3, 4, 5, but like he should be a Pro Bowler for sure.
I think one quiet one that no one was going to talk about, but you mentioned the name, Ali McNeil.
Oh, yeah.
I think he ends up getting a Pro Bowl. If he's got to pick it up a little bit more and have a good stretch at the end of the 6-game stretch here, but I think he's someone. And then I also think one of the running backs, David Montgomery or Jahmyr Gibbs.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think anyone's talking about
both.
that. And I don't know. Both would be tough. Maybe.
They both have 1,000 yards, which is a possibility. The type of total yards from scrimmage that they're racking up, it's a possibility. You're all laughing at me.
No, I think he's laughing at how you said possibility.
What possibility? It is.
I get what you're saying, but I don't think they can send 2.
Should be at least 1. You're right.
Do you remember at the beginning of the year, Austin Eckler did a video and he said he will shave his eyebrows if Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery are both. I think he might have said top 20
in fantasy.
Was it 20, 15, or 10?
Oh, we need to go get this receipt.
I can't remember what it was, but I guess
we can clip this.
We need to go get that receipt for this.
If someone knows that and can send it to us,
slander of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs.
If someone knows where that's at, DM it to me on Twitter at Booner Sports.
Hey man,
yeah, shoot that over. Shout out Parker Brown. Yeah, I don't know. The Pro Bowl. I think it's come out now, and I think there's going to be a lot of guys that people don't really expect from the Lions, but I think the Lions are going to have a handful of dudes there. Last year, they had 4 or 5. This year, I think it's 6, 7.
Tyler Huntley can make it. Anybody can.
Anyone. If a backup quarterback can make it, might as well. Let's send Teddy 2 Gloves. Send Teddy 2 Gloves to the Pro Bowl, man.
Send him. Oh wait, Shane D. What about Brian Branch?
Yeah, that's a close one. He's like
tapered off a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that's where it's going to be tough
Or
for him.
did he just start so well that what he's doing now is like, if he just did this all season, he'd be like, okay, that's a really good rookie. But he was special, special.
If he did what he did at the start of the year, all season, you would be having conversations, not just Pro Bowl. Like you'd be like, he might be an All-Pro player.
Yeah,
because we
talked about it for a week or 2.
Yeah, I think it was more so just like the hype for it. You know,
I mean, 7 tackle for losses, 6 pass defended, 1 pick, and 51 tackles as a rookie. That's pretty damn good. Especially, I mean, I would give it to Brian Branch for sure over Tracy Walker right now.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like you have to compare those numbers to other NFL safety numbers.
If he ends
and
the season
there's
with
no way that
10 passes defended, a couple picks, 10 tackles for losses.
Go look at how many
close
great
to
safeties
80.
are in the NFL right now.
Yeah,
there's no like
it's Pro Bowl, not all pro. So who knows?
I don't know, dude. There's 15 safeties in the NFL that are dogs right now, and Brian Branch is not one of them. He's a dog.
Wouldn't rule it out yet.
I'm not saying he's not a dog, but I'm saying he's not a top 15 safety in the NFL right now. If he starts going off, hey, give me 3 or 4 more pick sixes. 3 or 4 is a lot, but give me something.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's hit the break. When we come back, Lions injury report, Dan Campbell press conference, Hendon Hooker. We've got a lot for you. Got a lot happened. A lot of shows don't get it early in the morning. Lucas is sitting here staring at me in the eyes. Morning show, they don't get all these interviews until tomorrow. So you guys are getting the first look at it. Let me tell you guys about Lady Jane. Come over to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. Register to win a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That is right. No expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. That is Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It is wicked awesome.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equip Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Join Woodward Sports and Long Drink live every home game or away game for the official Lions VIP tailgate party. It's at Eastern Market in Shed 5. Actually, it is just all home games. In Shed number 5, it's always a bash. Starting at 9:30, we got food, we got drinks, we got entertainment. You just got to get your ticket at bullseyeeventgroup.com. So come hang with Woodward Sports at the Lions VIP tailgate, sponsored by Bullseye and Long Drink. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Woodward Nights with Booner and
Changed it
Broder
up a little bit.
on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you guys locking in here Wednesday night. Wings are playing, Pistons are losing. Things it's like a normal night.
Just trying to say, like,
It's a normal night. Appreciate you guys locking
like a
in.
day that ends in
Hit
Y.
that like button if you haven't already. Let's get up to 50 here. Tell a friend about the show. Let's grow this thing up here a little bit here. Andrew Jones, can't imagine Hendon Hooker gets any snaps this year. Preseason next year is going to be hype. I do agree. Preseason will be hype next year. Next segment, we are going to talk about Hendon Hooker. Broder was in the locker room speaking with him. There's some videos of him at practice. A lot of things.
He's just such a good. I say kid. He's very mature. He's like he's amazing. He's a 25-year-old man. So it's great. We're going to show his clips. I think next segment. It's going to be exciting in the future. I like him. I'm a big fan.
And there are videos too of him out there practicing, and it's like it was his first, it was kind of his first go around, which I think it's good to see. Like I'm not actually. I'm going to save it for the next segment because we're going to talk about him. Probably throw a little Jared Goff in this whole thing going around and at Woodward too, kind of about the Jared Goff stuff. But the Lions practice or injury report came out today. They practiced. I think yesterday, everyone. I'm sure the whole chat can agree. We were all kind of on our toes to see who's going to be in, who's going to be out. What's the first practice report and injury report heading into the Saints? And it was interesting to say the least.
Yeah, I think kind of optimistic though. Like nothing too drastic.
There's a couple on there that I'm a little.
Let's talk about it.
Here we go.
Here it is right here. But there's a few things. First of all, let's just talk about the positives of it. Jonah Jackson was back at practice today. He was just limited practice. Hendon Hooker, positive of that. Hendon Hooker, limited practice, which is huge.
He's got the 21 days.
Yep. Frank Ragnow, full practice. Iffy, full practice. These two right here to me. Obviously, Alex Anzalone, we talked about it yesterday. He is going to probably be out this week. No practice. But Tracy Walker and David Montgomery, they showed up.
Yeah.
I know it's limited practice, Broder, but did you hear anything?
Nothing specifically about how serious the injuries are, but they were both in the locker room and very upbeat. They were very as excited as I've seen David Montgomery, to be honest, in the locker room all year. And not Kirby, Tracy. Tracy was his usual self too. He was kind of bouncing around. So just total speculation again. I don't think it's anything too serious. But you're right. These were the two ones that showed up on here. It's like But the fact that it's limited practice,
no practice,
is good. Yeah, they're not just like, okay, you gotta sit this one out, because they're both veterans, so they could have easily said, let's sit this one out, come back tomorrow, and let's go.
Yeah, to me, like David Montgomery a foot, and like the game was Thursday, so you're sitting here now. It's like you're 5 days later, and they're both on there. That's the only thing where I'm a little like, how serious is it? Or if it's limited practice, I'm sure it's not as serious.
What about ankle getting added back onto the Jonah Jackson? The ankle had been gone from this injury report. It was just wrist for the last couple days, a week.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what I realized as well, too, though, was when we ended the show yesterday, we had the speculation of maybe he's holding out. Because Dan Campbell did make those comments. The people in the chat, you guys were right. He did make those comments in regards to, hey, when Jonah's ready, he'll be back. And that was like, when you say that, I get, but like typically when Dan Campbell speaks to the media about injuries, he knows exactly what is going on. It's not like, hey, we'll wait for the player to tell it. No, he knows. Like I've spoke with trainers, I've spoke with AG, I spoke with these guys. He knows exactly what's going on. Jalen, you could take that down there.
Or he says nothing. Or he just hides it all. But it was like a direct answer that didn't answer anything.
And it's like who just says when they're ready? Like that was where it's like,
what player on a Dan Campbell team can dictate when they play or not?
Hey, when I'm ready, Coach, I'll let you know. I'll let you know when I'm ready to
Sounds
go.
like Jordan Poole.
Yeah, honestly.
And that's not Jonah Jackson. We're not comparing Jonah Jackson to Jordan Poole, although go blue. What?
Shout out. I don't think there's anyone on this team like that, to be honest.
There's not.
So, I don't know. I think everything's fine. The contract stuff is obviously that's gone. We're not talking. And we do have a segment today talking about re-signing people and contracts and
Can
things
I throw
like that.
one at you just out of the blue? Do they need someone like that? Do they need a little...
No. What's a positive?
I know. It just came into my head.
Guy on your team.
I get it. Do they need? I don't think they do, but I don't know. There's a little edge that Aaron Hernandez. Jesus,
dude, come on. I mean, think about it
like
this. Yeah, like that wasn't even like hey, Broder's out here going, hey, do they need a murderer on their team?
Yeah, they don't need a murderer.
That's basically what you just said.
How many Super Bowls did Ray Lewis win?
Hey, I don't want to be that person or nothing like that, but like
he did.
It was a time where that guy that shall not be named was going to be better than Gronk.
Oh, Ray Caruth?
Yeah, no, the other. Whoa, God,
gotcha.
No, the Florida Gator.
Yeah,
so we can move on from that.
Yeah, Broder, I'm going to say this. I don't think any championship team is out there like searching and they're sitting there and they're like, hey, I think we need a bad player, a bad attitude guy on our team. I don't think that's a thing. If that is a thing, then I've been in coaching. I've been in different places. I don't think I've ever been in a meeting where it's like, hey, do you think that we should go out and get like a tough guy that wants to talk back to us and not listen to and not be a part of our culture?
I'm gonna put some more thought into this.
Yeah, please do. I want you to come back with some examples of
monologue tomorrow.
Yeah, I would love to hear that.
The arms wide open.
And then that's it. Justin Shaw here with. He said any word on bugs today. That's actually a great question.
Not from the coaches. I talked to him for like 20 seconds, and he seemed like he was going to be playing Sunday. He didn't directly say that, but he was like, "Yeah, things are good." He didn't even tell me what the illness he had. It was just, "I'm good from from last week, and I'm ready to go. So it was kind of simple, and there's a little speculation involved, but he seemed as upbeat as I've seen him in a couple weeks.
Okay, that's actually good to hear.
Yeah,
but it's weird. Like you could say
weird.
that. This is the thing with Isaiah Buggs as well, though. Is you could say that, and you spoke with him, and that it seems like he's going to play Sunday. But we've had these conversations in the past where he's activated, he's back, he's not on the injury report anymore. And guess what happened last week? Healthy scratch.
Yeah,
and he didn't play. And it was the same thing with Broderick Martin. So I don't know what's
going on.
It's
a strategy thing, and I can't figure it out. I don't get the inconsistency of Buggs playing, not playing, healthy scratch, illness. I don't know. It's a wild situation because he was they re-signed him for 2 years because he was a veteran who came in and played well last year, and it just hasn't clicked or worked out, and I can't figure out why.
Yeah, I want this as well too. I want to play the video. Did you throw the one in there of AG?
I think I sure did, I believe.
With Broder out there at practice today, I think we can all agree that the biggest thing this week that we all want to look for is his defense and what are these DBs doing? What's his secondary going to be like? What's the linebacker group going to look like? And I think the number one focus going into the Saints game is defense. Broder was out there, and he actually got a little bit of a video of AG just out there, not even just like this is what I love to see, hands-on. Completely hands-on with the secondary, working on just basics. And Dan Campbell talks about going back to the basics. Here's AG just breaking things down with the DBs. Sure. All right, you guys saw their AG kind of locked in, and that's what I love to see there, to be honest, Broder. Hands on, like I said before, Dan talks about it all the time. When they go in these slumps, what do you need to do? Get back to the basics.
Yeah.
Do what we did in training camp.
It's a Super Bowl winning DB as a defensive coordinator, getting down and dirty with the players. Love it.
What do you think about this defense though coming in? I mean, you saw the practice today. You kind of saw a little bit of it. Thoughts on this? Like, is he going to be ready?
Yeah,
that's my big linebackers out, people out.
I think we're going to see a ton of effort. The effort level, the rage, that aggression that the defense plays with, I think is going to be raised a ton this game. Actually, my biggest worry is that they're a little over aggressive, over focused on this game. They're going to be ready, but do they over pursue? Jack Campbell, that was part of his problem last week or on Thursday. I guess you could really say the last two games, his over pursuit of the guy with the ball. He managed to find himself. He didn't make too many mistakes on like where to go or what gap, but he overran a lot of the guy, whether it was a ball carrier or a tight end or wide receiver who caught it out of the flats. That's when he missed all his tackles. He was over pursuing. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope the edge, maybe they have a good plan with these edge rushers. I hope they're not over rushing and losing their containment. What are you laughing at?
Nothing, man.
I
just thought of something. I was just thinking too, and Jonathan Lord put it in here, and he said we should just go back to 101 defense. I kind of agree on that.
You mean like just let him go? Just
4-3, the basics.
Go.
Just like, hey, this is what we're doing. Just football 101. Let's not get into these tough schemes. Let's not just dive into this. Get into. I don't even know what the word I'm trying to look for is here, but I just think it's like AG, he's put out last year to end the year, they were a top 15 defense. To start this year, they were a top 10 defense. And it's like you go into this slump and it's like you're not getting any pressure on the quarterback. Your secondary, your corners are kind of getting beat at times. Your linebackers, outside of Anzalone, maybe a little inconsistent, missing tackles. And it's like, all right, this isn't just like a one-man thing. This is like a full group thing. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, actually, and we'll play this next here, is St. Brown said on his podcast today, his brother tried to kind of go at him a little bit in regards to this Lions loss. And he was like, to be honest, and Dan said it too, we could sit here and be like, hey, this guy did something wrong. This was a full team effort, and when one guy did something wrong, it was like the next play someone else did, and then someone else did. And it was just something to where in the NFL, you can't do that.
Yeah.
So that's where, Jonathan Lord said, go back to football 101 and just don't make mistakes. Just go back to the basics. Let's not make mistakes. Let's get back to where we were week 1 versus the Chiefs, and let's lock in and kind of just get back to our roots.
It's not a bad idea, especially if Jake Campbell wears the green dot for this game, which I don't know if he's going to or not, but he'll be right in the middle of that defense. Maybe it is one where it's just simplify, get back to what you did at Iowa. for a game and just get more experience. Just go.
And I think the guys know that. Monrod St. Brown spoke today on his podcast with his brother about that, and there's videos courtesy of the 33rd team, but he spoke about, hey, we've made these mistakes. You can't do this in the NFL. So here's him kind of speaking about the same exact thing.
But like, I didn't want to be true.
Just standing on that.
Low key, I don't know. You guys are like, just watch you guys play. It's like, what do you think is going on? What do you think is going on with you guys?
It was a tough loss. You can't. No one to really point the finger to, man. It was on all of us.
Let's not be political. Let's keep it raw.
I'm being honest. It was on everyone. We watched the tape. It was on everyone. One play it's me. Next play it's someone else. Next play it's someone else, and we got a penalty. Boom. So it was a culmination of things. We tried to fight back. It was too late. You can't play from behind in this league for that long. Packers had a good plan. Hats off to them.
I wonder what Equanimous was like trying to get at. Like if he saw something that a certain player that Amon-Ra St. Brown's not going to call out. I'm interested. Yeah, I'm interested.
I think he was kind of like all of us, or like a lot of Lions fans right now, to where he's like, he feels like maybe the Lions are a little bit of a fraud, and Amon-Ra, like in my opinion, they're not.
Yeah.
And I think they're a good football team. But I think that's where he's kind of, because all the other episodes he does the same thing. Like when they were in the power rankings at number 2 in the NFL, he came on the show and said the same thing, where he was like, I don't know if you guys are really that good. Like, I'm not going to give you guys that much credit. So I think it might have been a running bit, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
To where maybe, but like,
I don't know.
I think this Lions team, they're kind of all tight knit, and you're in the building, so you kind of feel that as well. But
Amon-Ra St. Brown's not going to call anyone in particular. He did a perfect job of giving the coach speak. It was me this time, and then it was the net. He did a good job, but like Equanimous being a wide receiver playing offense, who had 2 or 3 catches in that game. Was there something he saw, or was it an easy afternoon for him against that secondary? Does that mean the defensive line? Like, is he calling out the defensive line? I don't know.
He did have a catch.
He did.
He did have a catch.
I think he had at least 2.
And he doesn't really get a lot of catches. No shot at it.
No, go blue.
Yeah, no shot.
Yeah.
All right, let's hit break. When we do come back, Hendon Hooker. We're going to talk Hendon Hooker here. I saw Easy actually in the chat, and he's a big Jared Goff guy. He's not a big he's not a big Jared Goff guy.
April Fools!
Gotcha. It's April 1st. No, he's not a big Jared Goff guy. I don't think Hendon Hooker's like the future right now, but he potentially could be. And Broder, you got a lot of information on him today. But let me tell you guys about the Detroit Lions pregame show. You guys don't want to miss that. That is directly before every Lions game, 9:30 to 11:30 a.m., hosted by the Jeff I. Frady. I will be on the desk this week as well with him for the Saints game. Make sure you guys tune in at 9:30 this Sunday. And that'll be following Woodward and Maine. So make sure you guys don't miss that. And then go check out Big Boy, baby. It is wintertime in Detroit, and it is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the veal parmesan or the new Southern Comfort chicken bowl. If you want some breakfast, the stuffed potato pancakes, they are back. Classic lumberjack or the Santa Fe Garden. Also, the new apple pie hotcakes that are too good to miss. Top it all off with the new gingerbread shake for dessert. Make sure you stop over by your local Big Boy today.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then, she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrady, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand, you offer more products to more people. That's exactly what you do at Les Stanford. When you open up Les Stanford Buick GMC, they got the same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today. Find the brand you want at lesstanford.com.
All right, welcome back to Woodward
You're a
Nights
clown.
with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. We didn't communicate on the break. I was trying to tell you to intro this segment here. But
I thought you were trying to get me to laugh during that. And I was
my name is Booner, Matt Broder. We got Jalen in the TD booth, Nick in the sound booth.
Let's go.
If you guys haven't yet, hit that like button for us. Hey, we're having fun tonight on a Wednesday night. It's still 0-0 in New York versus the Rangers. It looks like from a distance here, the Pistons are down about 30 points. If you guys want to hop on my bandwagon of trying to get Tom Gores, 21 points, sorry, Tom Gores to speak to the media and tell us about something, hop on the Booner bandwagon. That's another part of the Booner path, is the Detroit Pistons versus Booner versus Tom Gores.
Hey, I'll intro this.
All right, hit us, Broder.
Booner, what do you think about Hendon Hooker? Like, just this whole situation. I know I'm throwing you a question right off the bat, and we'll get to the videos, but just your thoughts on the situation.
First thoughts is I think his ceiling is potential ceiling, right? When I say ceiling, I don't mean it's gonna happen, but potential. Yeah. I think his potential obviously is higher than Jared Goff, which to me that's exciting, and it's because he has an amazing arm. 2, he obviously is mobile. I mean, we saw all of that at Tennessee. And 3, we saw this at Tennessee as well. He has a ton of leadership qualities, and you'll see it in some of these videos that we do have. But I think Hendon Hooker, he has the potential to be a franchise guy. And I think that's what's so great about him, is he was supposed to be a first-round pick before his ACL. He was supposed to win the Heisman Trophy before he tore his ACL or whatever the injury was. So
ACL.
With that, you have a guy to where if he comes back from this injury, which an ACL, a lot of guys come back from ACL are the same guys. You don't change, like in today's age, doesn't matter. So to me, it's, hey, with Hendon Hooker, I said it last year going into the draft, I wanted the Lions to draft a quarterback because that's what great franchises do. If you have a guy like Jared Goff, like, you keep drafting a quarterback until you get your Patrick Mahomes. Every franchise is chasing their franchise quarterback. Jared Goff, he's not a bridge whatsoever, but he's a quarterback.
Yeah.
He's a good quarterback in this league.
Yeah.
But every franchise, if you want to be great, you're chasing your Patrick Mahomes, your Joe Burrow, your Josh Allen. You're chasing that guy, and I think the Lions doing that with Hendon Hooker, I think there's a chance that he could be that guy. And it's not guaranteed to be. But, I'm excited to see him out here, and I'm excited to see what he can bring to the table.
Yeah, well, let's see if you can predict from this first video of him out on the practice field. See if this clip alone, will he be a Hall of Famer, a Pro Bowler? Can you tell that far in the future? No, you obviously can't. But let's see a clip. Hendon Hooker's first practice in over a year.
Hook.
There we have it. The man, the myth, the legend. Literally his first professional practice, first time out in the field taking a snap. First time taking a snap under center in a very long time. He played shotgun a lot at Tennessee and at Virginia Tech, I believe. He'll talk about that later in the video. But like you said, Booner, there's such a long path from this ACL injury that he suffered in November, near the end of the year at Tennessee. And he just talked about all the ups and downs. But in this first video, it's his path back. He talks about getting back to being himself and being a baller again. It was a really good clip to open this up.
Just taking it day by day. Continuing to build my legs, continuing to build my mental in a positive direction to get back to a better me. And then now that I'm here, actually being able to go through practice and run through the plays and get under center and actually take some snaps, which has been a little bit foreign since I've been playing the shotgun in the past 6 years. But it just feels good to actually be a baller again.
You see that smirk at the end? He goes, feels good to be a baller again. Just to be out on a field. The sport you love, you grew up playing. You dreamed of being in the NFL. Now he's here, gets his first practice in. Booner, what do you think?
You know what? And I keep seeing this in the comments. First of all, the fact that if you just watch that video, that means he's been waiting to get on the football field.
Yeah.
He wants it. And I don't want to say that in the next. There's going to be a battle. He's going to give not Jared Goff a run for his money, but he's going to show something to where you can question a lot. I'm fully in belief of that right now. And I see in the chat here, some people are saying, well, Booner, he's been out for a year with an ACL tear. He might not play his first football game until next year. He might, he's coming off a major injury. I want to break it down a little bit to you guys as well, though. Let's put this in perspective. Guess who came off a major ACL injury a couple years ago in the NFL?
Adrian Peterson.
One of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Obviously, he's hurt right now. Joe Burrow.
Oh, yeah, Joe Burrow.
You go with Jimmy Garoppolo. It's hilarious. No, Joe Burrow, though. I'm going to get serious again real quick.
Okay,
that was
good.
great. But Joe Burrow. And what did he do right after that? He took his team to a Super Bowl. He was still Joe Burrow. So that's where I'm not as worried to where, yes, he might have missed some time. Joe Burrow missed some time. Tom Brady tore his ACL at one point. Players tear their ACL. This is a thing that happens. But as a quarterback, a guy like Hendon Hooker, a guy like Joe Burrow, who is an elite quarterback in the NFL right now. Not right now. He's hurt right now. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's listed as an elite quarterback.
He is.
Hendon Hooker has that potential he has the skill, like I said, the leadership, the skill set, the arm, the mobility. He has everything to do it. Mm-hmm. You're giving yourself a chance to find your Joe Burrow, your Patrick Mahomes, your Josh Allen. Not saying that's what he's going to be, but if you're giving yourself a chance, just because he tore his ACL doesn't leave all of that out. Just because he hasn't played football in a year doesn't leave all of that out. You still have that opportunity. The video of him at practice, he looks like he's out there. He's moving very well. And the fact that he is that motivated to come back, I think coming off an injury, guys, some of these guys, especially a guy that's like a star, like you see like the mindset from a star to like a role player, these stars have just a different mindset. Yeah. A guy like Hendon Hooker, who should have had a Heisman, he has that mindset to where it's like he gets that much more motivated missing a year and a half of football.
100%. And it's good when you're coming back from an injury. It's good to be surrounded by people who know what you're going through, one of which is backup quarterback Teddy Bridgewater, who had a serious leg injury. He's been a mentor of him. We don't have the clip of that, but he talked today about Teddy Bridgewater being a mentor in that and how he helped him prepare for coming back, deal with the injury. Also, I asked him a question about working with his quarterback coach,
Love this one.
JT Barrett, who I totally forgot also had 2 serious knee injuries. So, Jalen, if you could play this, we'll talk about it right after.
How's Coach JT Barrett helped you through this time?
Yeah, he's been great. On and off the field, just talking to me about the steps that I'm taking to get back, because he's endured an injury as well, a couple of them. So he knows exactly what I'm going through. He knows exactly the steps to take to get back your confidence and get back to the flow of things.
You hear that? He knows exactly what it takes to get back, exactly what it takes to get your confidence back, the mental side. There's a physical side to it, but there's also the mental side. And having someone like JT Barrett, who's in his second year with the Lions as the offensive assistant and quarterbacks coach, you can't even I don't even know how to put a value on how important that is to a young quarterback coming up in a new system dealing with an injury. Like a rookie. We saw with Jameson Williams. Like it's hard to become a part of a team as a rookie dealing with an injury when you can't be on the field day one.
Yeah,
he's a quarterback.
The best thing about it, and like to that at the end, like kind of what he said to end it is the confidence. I think having that confidence, being with JT Barrett, Teddy Bridgewater, like you said, Broder, that makes that should give you guys more faith in the guy like Hendon Hooker coming back from injury. If you're around people who have experienced it, because they're going to know what doesn't work. They're going to know what, hey, this didn't work for me, and this kind of, especially like a guy like JT Barrett who didn't have the best, I wouldn't say NFL career, and I don't know if it's because of the injuries, but if it was because of the injuries, Hendon Hooker's able to learn from that.
Yeah.
What held you back from that? And I think that this is part of the thing with Dan Campbell and his staff that he's put together, is he's brought in guys that have had experienced all of this. He's brought in the right guys to help, and JT Barrett being one of those, I think that's an unbelievable.
Fantastic. Last video we'll play here. We got a couple more if we have time later on in the show, but last one for this segment. Hendon Hooker was talking about how it feels being on the field, getting hands-on coaching, like finally being able to participate in practice. And then I didn't even realize he's going to tell you. I didn't even realize the rules prevented him from even wearing shoulder pads, even going through drills wearing shoulder pads. Kind of a bizarre rule that I just found out. But this is Hendon Hooker talking about all of that.
It's very valuable, because before I'm really just going out there blind, just trying to go off of either what I see or what I know from installs. But it's different when you're out there actually moving around and you have actual receivers, not just a standing target. So it's fun just to get out there and run through the plays and communicate with the guys and just ask them what they're seeing on the field.
Did you feel you had rust to shake off today?
It's been a year since I put on shoulder pads, so throwing with my shoulder pads I have to get accustomed to again.
You couldn't throw with them in preseason.
No, it was against the rules. Yeah.
Dude, isn't that crazy? Like not having to. What happened?
Mo Sider ties up the ball game. The hockey game 1-1.
Let's go
in New York.
Red Wings, baby. I didn't even realize the Rangers scored one. Tie game 1-1.
1-1. Sider nets his third of the season. Let's go Wings, baby.
Hey, I love you fellas, man.
Light the lamp, baby, you duster. Does Sider have a lip mustache? Lip lettuce?
I don't believe he has lip lettuce going yet. Maybe a little later in his career.
Was it top shelf or was
it? It did look. It was pretty close to top shelf there.
Wow.
Yeah. Shout out Sider getting his third of the year
what did
in
the
New York.
celly look like, eh?
Light the lamp with the biscuit, eh?
I didn't see anything too crazy from the celly.
This is a barn burner, eh?
Let's go. Let's go.
A barn burner.
Crazy though. Any last comments on the Hendon Hook you saw? I'll make one comment. He just sounds so mature. Like he sounds like a veteran up there. He's easy to like. He smiles. I don't know. I really like him. He very well could be part of the
I want to make a very
again.
Another goal.
Another goal. 2-1 Red Wings.
Oh,
My
wow.
bad there, boys.
No, you're good. 2-1. Let's go.
Holy shit. I think it was Fabry.
Fabry.
I think so.
Fabri.
Shout out. Yeah, there was Fabry.
Was that a clapper?
Yeah, it was a top shelf rippy. No doubt.
Dirty dangle.
Real quick, last thing with Hendon Hooker. I want to kind of voice this to the people as well, real quick, because I do see a lot of comments, and I'm sure that I know the heavies talked about Hendon Hooker. They're Jared Goff haters, but I think one thing you have to be very clear is all the people that are saying Hendon Hooker might be I see career backup. This guy, he's your third string guy. This is a guy you give some time. He's a little older. What, 25, 26? He still has a long career in front of him. If he ends up being a guy like a Josh, like if he ends up being a dude with his skill set that we feel like he could be, you can still have him for 6, 7, 8 years at that skill set, especially with the way Brad Holmes is building this team. I just want you guys to be a little patient with Hendon Hooker, I think. Don't expect anything crazy out of him this year. Let him get into it next year, and then we'll kind of go from there. But that's I know today's day one of Hendon Hooker.
Yeah.
Be patient. Don't overreact on the wrong way to where it's like, oh, he's not that guy. He's not. Let him develop. Yeah. Don't set a bad expectation for that guy. So let's go to break. When we come back, let's see, what do we have here?
8:45. Woodward and Maine.
Brad Holmes. We're going to talk about that. But let me tell you guys about Woodward and Maine, the Woodward Sports Lions Insider Show, hosted by Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, our own, and Detroit legend Terry Foster. It's Tuesdays, 7 to 8 a.m., and they will be live this Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. right before the pregame show for all the Lions insider information, injury news, everything you need. Tune into the show on the Woodward Sports YouTube.
And then you can go to Dispo before the game because they have a team that curates an exclusive atmosphere with Michigan's largest variety of products. They have flour, oils, butter, chocolates, edibles. They have it all. They're the first ever cannabis mall of its kind. They're located in Van Dyke Road and 32 Mile Road in Romeo. Also, the Romeo location is open till midnight every day, except for Sunday. Can it get any better than that? I don't think so. Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. the company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads, is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
How would you like to win a 100K Vegas getaway? Take your friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Cintron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack of Cintron today and enter to win at drinkcintron.com/Vegas. It's Cintron, the healthier energy drink with great taste, so you can look good, feel great, and be the best version of yourself with Cintron. Enter now at drinkcintron.com/Vegas.
All right, we're back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. There's a fight going on in the Red Wings game. We are on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel, woodwardsports.com. I believe we actually, I was thinking about this today. I don't know if we're on like Spotify and Apple for podcasts. We need to figure that out.
We need to get on the other show's caption, their description.
Wow,
we've been here for 3 months.
Are we the only ones that are not?
Yeah.
Okay, we will figure that one out.
I believe we're on heavyweight. Shout out Chris.
Shout out Chris. We'll talk to the other shows.
Oh, shout out Broder.
Shout out Broder. I'll make an executive decision.
Yeah.
I'll talk to some people.
Tell them about it.
I'll pull a couple strings around here.
Also, you know what a fight's called? It's called a yard sale.
I've
so
never
you drop
heard
the gloves.
I've never heard D-Mac say that.
Well, it's because he never had to rip his jersey. He could just get him one punch.
He's done it a couple times, the same flannel. Never heard him say, let's have a yard sale.
You want to put money on it?
Text him.
You want me to text Darren McCarty right now and say, it's a fight called a yard sale?
Throw us in a group chat and let's see.
Should I?
Yes, you should.
Vote, poll, yes or no? I will. I'll do it right now.
Yeah, do it. Throw us in a group and let's get this down here. All right, welcome back. We're going to get into here. We're going to keep going. Red Wings up 2-1. Pistons, I believe, are down 30 right now to the Lakers at home, going for their 15th straight loss. But Brad Holmes, let's lock in on this, fellas. I have some questions because obviously he did not make moves on the trade deadline. But there are some free agents. The Raiders have cut a few guys. There are guys that are starting to open up a little bit that are hopping on waivers to where if they drop to the Lions, they're going to have a chance to get them. And Broder, this is the biggest thing to me that I kind of want to get to you because I have a little bit of a statement in regards to it, but I want to get your feelings first. Do you believe, and it could be anyone. It doesn't have to be any of these 3 or 4 guys I put on the prep. Do you believe Brad Holmes needs to go out there and make one more move before the end of this season? At least to make a push in the playoffs.
I don't think he needs to make a playoff push, but I'm going to say he needs to. I'm going to say he needs to. Like, I do think they need to add something to be serious contenders, to really believe going into the playoffs that they have what it takes to win a Super Bowl, to make it to the Super Bowl and then win it. I worry about the depth. I worry about the depth of the cornerback room, and I worry about the strength of the defensive line. And maybe that is also depth, but we got to see what Bruce Irvin and James Houston can do for this team. But that defensive line is my biggest worry. It actually makes me worry more about the secondary because of their weaknesses.
Yeah, and that was my biggest thing is I truly, like, the one thing, and I believe that they need to do is go get a corner. And there's been some corners that Shaquille Griffin, Marcus Peters, and I think there's been a couple other guys too that are out there, and still some free agents that haven't played this year. I think that are sitting out there to where maybe you just get a depth guy, because at the end of the day, what happens? And I'm not going. What happens if you lose Cam Sutton or Jerry Jacobs?
Exactly.
Like, that is a disaster. I heard the morning show say, "What happens if Cam Sutton goes down? What do you have?" What's his name that fit like Stephen Gilmore? I don't know who they've been even.
No, you probably put Brian Branch.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's where it gets
because Will Harris was bad when he was out there, and yes, he filled in a little bit, but like at the end of that second game that he filled in for Jerry Jacobs, I think it was like even Dan Campbell, you saw the kind of playing time get taken away because he struggled so much.
Yeah,
and it's like if that happens again, you're in a bad.
That's
spot.
why Jerry Jacobs as your number 3 is so crucial, because especially in the role as the 3, he plays bigger, he plays tougher. He knows his role. He's got to come in and do what he does. At the number 2, it changes things. Even Cam Sutton, who I'm a huge fan of, and for a lot of this season, I'd say he was playing like a number 1. He might not actually be a number, like on a Super Bowl winning team, he might have to be your number 2. And I think that's why they went and got Emmanuel Mosley. Or if not a number 2, it's a 1A and a 1B. Just 2 guys that can be that I don't want to say dominant, but that strong at the cornerback position. And then you bring a dog like Jerry Jacobs off like that. We talked about it a couple weeks ago, like bringing Jerry Jacobs and Tracy Walker off your bench. That's elite. That is an elite secondary. having those guys start, and it's nothing against them, they're great players, but that's not an elite secondary anymore. It could be a good one, but then you have no depth. So the secondary as a whole, that's where I start to have issues. Like, what happens?
That's what you have to think about. And yesterday we kind of went at it a little bit with Nick, where Nick was like, well, like Brad didn't really sign great guys. But it's like, if you do put it in perspective, if guys didn't get hurt, like his vision, I think was there. To where you have Emmanuel Mosley, you have a Jerry Jacobs who's been playing CB2 for you all year long, and you're 8-3 with him at corner 2. Like, that's huge at the end of the day. So you were expecting him to be your third corner. Yeah. You were expecting to have Emmanuel Mosley. You weren't expecting to have to go Brian Branch Foley, which he ended up earning that spot.
Yeah.
But you weren't expecting to have to go Tracy Walker at that starting spot because you had C.J. Gardner-Johnson. So I think when you start looking at this, okay, things change, and I think that's where it comes with Brad. And I get where people were really mad at the trade deadline when they saw the 49ers make moves. They saw the Seahawks make moves. You see the who else? The Eagles make moves, and you're like, okay, well, the Lions are in this level of play right now. Why didn't they make the moves that we thought they would?
Yeah.
That's where, to me, it's like, okay, Brad, you kind of have a little bit of a second wind right now to where you have a lot of guys getting cut. You have some free agents still left on the board that you might be able to go snag. Even if it's not, like, you're not going to get a guy that's going to be a starter.
No.
You're not going to go get a Chase Young. But you can get someone that's going to produce, that's going to give you a little bit of a oomph. You know?
Yeah.
And that's where I'm kind of looking at with Brad Holmes in this situation here is I want you to go out and chase after a Shaq, maybe even a Shaq Leonard, depending on Angelo's injury, a Marcus Peters. Go chase after someone and say, just make an effort. You're basically what? You get a rental and you keep him for a year? And I think that's it. And E-Fog said it best in the chat here a little bit ago. He said depth can't hurt. That's the biggest thing. Is especially if you're on getting a rental guy, depth cannot hurt. When you have injuries, as many injuries and as many guys on that defense that have gone down, three of your starters have gone on the IR this year on the Detroit Lions on defense. And they added Bruce Irvin to make up for it. That is a problem at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's a huge issue. As you had 3 starters on your defense go on IR, and all you added was Bruce Irvin. So that's where I think, okay, if a Marcus Peters becomes available and you need a rental, that's a guy you should be trying to get for the playoffs. Because you lost 3 starters on defense this year. That's an issue. Again, I'm going to keep saying, like, that's crazy.
I agree with you.
And that's the drop-off.
Were you trying to convince me yesterday Marcus Peters is, like, not the type of player you want in?
No, that was not. No, someone has mentioned that on one of the shows here.
Was it Lucas?
It might have been Lucas a little bit, and then you mentioned the Jared Goff things with him. Me, I was saying, Marcus Peters. The reason the reason people are saying he's bad and they don't want him is because of his issues in Vegas. Everyone had issues in Vegas.
That's a good point.
The organization had issues from top to bottom. So
you know where Marcus Peters didn't have issues?
In L.A.
In Ford Field.
In Ford Field, yeah.
Pick six.
So that's where I'm like, okay, I trust, like, if Marcus Peters comes in, I trust that. Because he's going from a terrible organization at the time to the Detroit Lions, where it has a culture that's built.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
And Shaquille Griffin, I know he's maybe just past his prime, but he didn't get cut because of horrible play in Houston. That secondary got healthy. Like, Derek Stingley has been playing really well, so there were just not enough snaps for him. So that, depending on what kind of money he likes, that might be a guy to go after. And just real quick to defend, you said Nick was talking about Brad Holmes and his plan yesterday. I can never say a bad thing about Brad Holmes, but there is a risk when you sign your expected starting cornerback has a torn ACL. There's risk associated with that, and the risk happened.
That was my point yesterday.
Yeah, that one, yes.
And you can't just go on. You had to pick up somebody at the trade deadline, and we did not. That's what I was getting on Brad Holmes about, because he obviously wasn't coming back. We knew that after, I believe, week 3 when he was supposed to. Played 1 snap, never came back. We never addressed it via the trade. That was my only critique on Brad Holmes.
That's what I do. Fair. Yeah, that's what I do think. He's probably going to go get a cornerback. I believe he's going to get a cornerback because that was his plan at the beginning of the season. Like, he knew they needed another piece. Even while planning to have C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Brian Branch and whatnot, he went out and got Emmanuel Mosley because they needed another cornerback.
If you're a playoff team and you have multiple guys on one side of the ball get hurt, when the trade deadline comes up, you do expect something to be addressed. That's it. Yeah. Jalen?
I think, like, with the Brad Holmes, guys and stuff like that we have here in Detroit, people weren't as big on Marcus Peters. I was on Twitter saying, make the call. it sucks to say, and I don't think it should be right, but players play differently in different situations, right? If you're losing every game and you're not winning, and you're not happy with the coach or the coach, you're getting paid, but you're not gonna give your all, which isn't fair to the team. But you know how that goes in life, in sports too. So if you bring him here, or bring Shaq Leonard, or you would have brought Chase Young here to a winning org, I promise you they're gonna at least show some type of grit and some type of effort. But if you're losing every game, it's like, what are you there for? And players shouldn't do that to sell their team short. But Broder, you know how that goes.
It's football.
If you're winning, they're gonna go out there and bust their ass the whole 60 minutes of the game.
Completely different, yeah.
Especially in football, where we now know they're putting their lives on the line, their health, for non-guaranteed. The only sport without guaranteed contracts.
It's crazy.
I think the only sport.
I'm not sure on that.
Well, they aren't guaranteed. So
I've got
except for Kirk Cousins.
Two quick comments I wanted in the chat. Shift Guide, he said, the thing I hate though, Booner, is people want to say these got to be culture guys. Come on, and that's kind of what Jalen was saying a little bit as well. There is to a point to where, yes, some of these guys are going to have issues and might not be culture guys for the Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes things, but that doesn't mean you have to keep every guy out. And Broder, it's like what you were saying with do you need a bad guy in there, whatever you said. No, you don't. You want to make sure that if there's a guy that's consistently around the league that's known to be an issue, don't want him. Yeah. But a guy like Marcus Peters, who has been fine when he was with Jared Goff, he's played with Jared Goff, he's been fine on certain teams, but he's been in a bad position in Vegas, and you're going to count that against him, where everyone, they just fired their head coach, and there was animosity from everyone in the organization, from players to coaches to players, from players to the owners to everything. There was issues. You can't do that to Marcus Peters. There was one more comment here I wanted to.
Everyone's
Detroit
not going to be a culture guy.
No, and if you do it that way, you're never going to have you're going to have to.
So that's kind
some guys will turn into your culture guys.
Everybody to be a culture guy. You need some mix up in there, dude.
It's kind of what I was getting at, and I presented it in the wrong way earlier on with the Aaron Hernandez and everything. But everyone can't be uptight and perfect.
Yeah,
you got to have some edge.
Have some dudes that want to
or an edge
take
rusher.
the risk or that push to the edge a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Here we go. All right, we're going to hit break real quick. Detroit supremacy, Broder. He said, we're not one player away. This isn't the year to make those moves. Those moves, you're not signing guys to 4 or 5 years contracts.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't.
It's rentals.
You're right, Detroit supremacy, but
I agree.
But you're also right. As long as they
rentals.
Yes.
Don't give a guy 2 years for $50 million.
Yeah. And I think
say, hey, come with us for the rest of the year. You can play in the playoffs with us, and then if we like you, you'll stay.
Yeah, I forget. I was reading about Shaquille Griffin, Houston Texans. The way they signed him or the way they cut him, they have to pay $2 million of the 2.35.
Most of the ways that's how most
players like that. Yep. So
all right, let's go to break. When we come back, we are going to get into a little bit. It's 9 o'clock. We're going to actually get into some of these re-signings. We're talking about re-signing players, bringing players in. A lot of players are free agents this summer. We're going to talk about our favorites, Broder, that we want to re-sign and how that will look. But let me tell you guys about Hamlin Pub. Have you ever wanted a pub where you are a regular? We have just a place for you. Head over to one of Hamlin Pub's 7 locations and experience where everyone is a regular. Whether you're enjoying half-off pizza on a Thursday or Michigan or game day specials available during all Michigan sports and NFL games, Hamlin Pub is the place to be. Make sure you visit a location today and experience your new favorite pub for all things sports.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Do you have football on the brain? Well, fall ushers in college and professional football. And this year is already awesome. Fall is also the perfect time to shop for your home and auto insurance. So shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover us here at Woodward Sports Network, and they should be covering you too. Ask for Market Swiss Insurance or call him today, 248-800-4177. Check him out, SwissINS.com.
All right, welcome back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. Appreciate all of you guys tuning in with us. It is on the Woodward Sports Network. It is my cord here that is making noises. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm not touching my cord right now, and it's making noises.
That's what he said.
But welcome back. Make sure you guys, if you haven't yet, hit that like button for us. We're only at 44. We should be way higher than 44. Should be way higher than that. Let's get to 75 here, heading into the second hour. We did get a response here from D-Mac. I want to read it off to you guys. Broder was saying that a yard sale means a hockey fight. We've got an official definition from one of the greatest hockey fighters in the NHL history, in hockey history, Darren McCarty. From D-Mac, he said a yard sale is in a hockey fight when everyone loses their gear. Jerseys, shoulder pads, elbow pads. Looks like a yard sale on the ice. Shout out as well, too. I saw someone in the chat, don't remember who it was, that said that exact same thing. So shout out to you there.
Shout out to you.
We got the exact definition. Probably the greatest fighter of all time in hockey.
Arguably number one.
Top three.
Yeah. I'd pick him first in the fighter draft.
I would as well. We should
bad
do
boy,
that.
like a bad boy draft, all sports.
So this is the situation we're in with our drafts and our top fives. Is BDE, which is a Darren McCarty original as well. We started doing top five Thursdays when we started the show.
Oh yeah.
Now they're doing top fives. So now if we want to do drafts, they do drafts as well. So,
I like drafts. They did that first, and it was a good idea.
Yeah,
that
but like,
draft
is
was fun.
BDE just gonna?
No, they don't get to just keep that all for themselves.
That's where I'm at with this, because I don't want us to make our top five graphics or our draft graphics, and then
we can't do a fruit draft, a draft that they've done, but we can. Like, I think that'd actually be a cool. What do you call a bad boy? Like a grind, just like the bad boys of any.
You want a bad boy, huh?
Yeah, okay.
No,
I'm saying like Bill Laimbeer, Darren McCarty, Kyle Farnsworth, or Nolan Ryan. Remember that fight?
Proberg.
Yeah.
I saw future supremacy. I think we'll figure. I love the guys at BDE though. Neil, I love Neil. I've learned a lot from him, and D-Mac. We have the watch parties with him, and he gets after it when it comes to my bets. So respect him. I did not touch a cord over here. There is no cord touching over here. I'm just letting you guys know I am a foot back from the cord. So this is not me. There is
12
a
inches
gap in between my chair and the cord. All right. Let's do this. Brad Holmes.
Yes.
He's got some work to do this offseason, Broder.
Dude.
There are a list of guys that are eligible for contracts at the end of this season. I don't know the exact number, but when you're looking at it here, there is probably at least 20 to 25 players on this team that are sitting there, then their contract is up at the end of 2024.
17 unrestricted, and I do think there's probably 10 more that are restricted. Or there's some tenders and stuff.
Okay, and do you have that list of restricted? We don't want to name all of them off.
I just said unrestricted free agents.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So this is the thing. I'm going to name some names off, and if there's any restricted ones in there, just cut me off and say, hey, Booner, don't be dumb. All right?
No, you're not dumb.
So these are the biggest ones in me, and I put these in a little bit of an order so you have an idea.
Okay.
On the defensive side of the ball, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Emmanuel Mosley, Jerry Jacobs, and James Houston. Those are four guys that should be starters.
So James Houston is a certain one. It's not
the rookie deal, and they cut him and they brought him back.
It's an exclusive restricted free agent. I don't know exactly what that. I heard it at one time. I'm not going to be able to regurgitate it. So before I try to,
I will say this: I believe that there was, and I could be wrong with this. I believe James Houston, when they cut him, or they put him on the practice squad, cut him. He cleared waivers his rookie year, and I think that set up to where he's a free agent after this year.
Yeah,
and I think before, if they would have kept him, they would have had him for 4 years.
Yes.
So
yes,
I think
it changed
this year
him.
it's done.
Yes, when they cut him, it changed the whole.
That was a big issue.
Yes.
Because when he was playing well, there people are like, you're going to have to pay him after next year, which is an issue. Next, offensively, the biggest ones. First off, Josh Reynolds, wide receiver 2-3. He is a free agent at the end of this year. And then you go over to your offensive line, Big V, Jonah Jackson, and Graham Glasgow. So your offensive line might have a rebuild. And Broder, I think those are the biggest ones, correct? That we can talk about there a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, there are other guys, like, not the biggest name. So the two biggest contracts of unrestricted free agents that you didn't name are guys that they probably don't need to retain. Romeo Okwara and Charles Harris.
I have a comment on that in a minute.
By far the most expensive contracts.
Yes, I could give my comment on that now.
Go for it. Send it.
If we look at this re-signing, and this is a this is a positive for the Detroit fan base. Not touching anything over here, by the way. Nothing over here.
Are you getting a little?
There's nothing. There's no movement over here on my end. But this is a positive for the Detroit Lions fan base. Is everything good, boys?
Yeah, you're good.
All right. Almost every other edge rusher on this Lions team their contract's up in 2024.
Wow.
Romeo Okwara, Charles Harris. Let me keep going down here. Hold on. Well, Benito Jones is one of them. Maybe not everyone.
Just those two.
Maybe James Houston. Yeah. There was a couple more. There was a couple. Okay, you guys know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
so which are most important to
Julian
retain?
Okwara as well. I apologize. Romeo, Julia, Charles Harris, Benito Jones, James Houston. That's 5 of your guys on that defensive line, correct? 5 dudes. Aaron or Ben
it's like a total of 5 sacks on the season.
It is, but guess what?
Yeah.
Those were supposed to be some of your 5 top guys.
Yes,
and
that's
the
the point.
thing is Brad Holmes, he's sitting there and he trusted these guys to do something, and now he's sitting there and he's a little bit like, what am I going to do? And guess what? Some of those guys are gone after this year. Okwara brothers, I don't know if they're both gone, but guess what? Brad Holmes is going to evaluate. I know Benito Jones was good. Guess what? Evaluate.
Romeo's
Charles Harris,
double.
Evaluate. You're gonna these guys are probably gonna be out the door, and guess what? That opens up money for you to go out and get actual edge rushers. You go build that defensive line, Brad Holmes.
I say pay for the defensive line and draft the secondary. Draft the skill players.
You can
draft wide receivers, running backs, cornerbacks, safeties.
Yes.
Pay for the big boys.
I think you signed C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
I would love that.
And then I think after that, you start looking at, hey, let's build up. Just like you did on offense, let's build from the inside out going forward. We have pieces in the linebacker room. We have pieces in the secondary. Let's start building out from the inside out here.
Yes.
Do what you did on the offense. You have the money to do it. Get rid of those Okwara brothers. Get rid of Charles Harris. I love those guys. Are all great people, but
we're talking production now.
Production, it was proven,
which there is none of.
Brad, and Dan came into this year and they looked each other in the eyes. They looked the media in the eyes, and they literally said, "Hey, we don't need to go out and address the defensive line. We feel like we're good enough with what we have." And guess what? Not good enough.
No.
Now we know. Address it at the end of this year.
Yeah.
Let those guys go, and let's go get some actual dudes. Go to free agency and pay for some dudes.
Yeah.
Do it.
So, of the guys you named, who do you think who they need to bring back most? You got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Emmanuel Mosley. You're talking Jonah Jackson, Graham Glasgow, Halapoulivaati Vaitai. I think he's probably not coming back. Which one, in your opinion, or how do you want to do this? Which is the most important to bring back, or like who do you think? Who do you think they should of that group?
I'll go one on each side of the ball. Is that fair?
Yeah.
One CD Deuce.
Okay, as your defensive guy.
I think having him in that room, and I know he barely has played, you felt it instantly.
Yeah.
And I think he's a big one, and you're going to have to pay a little bit. I think that's a guy I'm willing to pay. On the other side, another guy I'm willing to pay Jonah Jackson.
Do you think so? This is the big question,
and I think it comes down to the quarterback money too, because you can pay your offensive line if your quarterback doesn't take that much money.
Yeah,
and that's a fact. That's what it comes down to. That's what all these conversations about Jared Goff are.
Yeah,
is do you want an offensive line that's number 1 in the NFL?
For me, I'm doing whatever I can to pay the offensive line, and you want to find your franchise quarterback, and I do think that Jared Goff he could be that franchise quarterback for us, but not at the contract that he's probably going to want. You know, like I think he needs to be below 40 so they can pay that offensive line. And then even that still might not be like it might be. This might be the reason they go to Hooker or they move on from Goff. Not because he can't win here, but they prefer to prioritize paying an offensive lineman. And if it's not Jonah Jackson, maybe that's another offensive lineman that they pay. But clearly their strategy is building from the inside out. And I love that strategy. That wins in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think it's at the point to where you have your secondary guys now. Yeah, and like I keep saying, I think it's time on defense to look at that. You have Hutch. Now it's like, go get some dudes on that defensive line.
Yeah.
Quit playing around. Like, I get you wanted to experiment a little bit with these guys that you have now. Move on from it.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it.
I was really hoping, and I was chatting with a couple guys in the chat. I was really hoping they were going to make a play on Quinnen Williams this offseason.
That's a lot of money, though. I think he made the most probably.
Yeah, he reset the market. Chris Jones might be available next year. Might be resetting the market again, but
yeah, but no, there's going to be dudes available. It's about, hey, are we going to do it? And I think they do. I think they will. Brad will take a different approach this year.
Yeah.
Because if you remember those press conferences, if you remember those at the last year in the offseason, those conversations were had. And I think a lot of you reporters actually asked him about it. And he did come out and just say, we love what we have here. We trust these guys. And I think everyone in here will agree with me that it's time to move on from majority of these guys. And I'm sure every other person in Detroit that will talk about it, the chat will agree with me. It's just about that time. And I didn't realize, I don't think anyone realized it until you look at who's a free agent at the end of this year. And there's guys you can move on from that are making a ton of money and aren't producing.
Let's revisit this conversation again, talk about some of the other guys. Like Josh Reynolds is an interesting one.
Very.
And maybe we talk in a week or two once we see a little more of a sample size. He's been down a little bit, but he played great at the beginning. I don't know, Booner. Tell him about the post-game show.
Post-game show. Make sure you guys tune in. That is the Woodward Sports Lions post-game show with Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day. Make sure you guys tune in directly after every Lions game. They'll take calls. They'll drink some Kool-Aid. And if there's a loss ever, they will talk about that. And they will console all of you guys after a loss. So make sure you guys tune in directly after every Lions game on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. And then you can head over to Planet Fitness. It is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. Over at Planet Fitness, you will experience squeaky clean gyms that has tons of equipment, full body workouts in just 30 minutes, and all of those memberships include fitness training. You get all of that for just $10 a month. Check Planet Fitness out. They have hundreds around the Metro Detroit area, thousands around worldwide. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
How would you like to win not one, but two vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equip Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
When it comes to your pet, don't settle. Give your pet the best. That means going to Premier Pet Supply because they're hands down Michigan's best pet store. They're family owned and operated for over 30 years. They got 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food, lowest prices, and curbside home delivery. That's right, Premier Pet Supply, so you can give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
All right, Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. We are back. Appreciate all of you guys. every single person that's tuned in here with us tonight. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys hit that like button, whether if you're on the Woodward Sports YouTube chat, if you're on woodwardsports.com. Appreciate you guys still tuning in with us here. We're trying to work on getting this on the podcast form. I think we would be one of the number one podcasts in the world.
Number one.
Never lost. Shout out LeVar Ball. All right, this is a very interesting thing. My computer just froze.
Oh, nice.
Actually, no, it worked.
I got you.
NFL player. The ESPN released their NFL players under 24. Typically, it's like 25 under 25. I've seen the list that happen with lists all the time. But it is sitting there at 24 years old. And the Lions, they have a few people in it, and I think they might have majority of
Lions
the guys.
team is stacked with guys under 24 years old.
They are. And then the thing is, too, and I'm going to name off some names here for you who made it. And it's kind of like an all-pro list to where they have first team, second team. They go through every single position on offense, defense. You ready for this, bro?
Yes.
Coming in first, the tight end out of Iowa, Sam Laporta, 22 years old, first team tight end. He is the number one tight end.
Okay, not number one player under 24, just number one tight end.
No, so that, like I said, they did it like the all-pro team.
Got you. Cool.
So they did it like an all-pro team to where they broke it down like that. So that's kind of how I got it. Number 2, second guy on the list, out of Oregon, offensive tackle, Penei Sewell. First team, 23 years old. The third guy, out of the University of Michigan,
the Michigan
defensive end Aiden Hutchinson. He is also first team at 23 years old as well.
Nickname Hutch.
And then the fourth guy here. This is going to can we just go around the room? Have you guys looked at it yet?
I did, but
okay.
Go to the
Have you guys
boys.
looked at it, Jalen,
No,
Nick? Who do you think the fourth player under 24 years old is?
Who were the first few
Detroit
guys
Lions?
you said?
Sam Laporta, Penei Sewell, and Aiden Hutchinson. Who do you think the fourth guy is?
Is it 24 and under? Or
23, basically.
Well,
no
okay.
24-year-olds.
That takes out
23 and me.
That takes out St. Brown because he's 24.
Probably, is it Branch?
Okay, I was gonna go Branch.
You each get two guesses.
All right, I'm gonna go J-A-M-O, maybe surprise on his potential, his
Who's
ceiling.
your second one?
Give me a sec here.
You could do Gibbs.
Another guess? Oh,
you
shit.
could do.
I'm trying to think of who's under 23.
Okay, Broder, yeah.
You could do Gibbs.
Okay.
You could
I'll do
do
J-Mo.
J-Mo,
I can't. It's hard to think.
J-Mo and Branch.
I got
Branch.
I got J-Mo and
Tom Kennedy.
All right, that's your
Jack Campbell.
Guess what?
What?
No J-Mo, no Jahmyr Gibbs. Nick got it at the end. Jack Campbell.
Let's go,
Jack Campbell
buzzer beater.
He's not even honorable mention. He's not second team. This is the biggest surprise. Jack Campbell, 23 years old. He is first team of NFL players under 24 years old as the linebacker. There was about two or three linebackers in first team. Jack Campbell was first team linebacker.
It's with Nick Bolton from the Kansas City Chiefs. That's a good one. And Quay Walker with the Packers. That's also Quay Walker's only 23. I feel like he's been in the NFL for 10 years.
They
got here. I have a little problem. I love me some Jack Campbell, but Ivan Pace Jr. has played much better than him already.
So that was my thing. Is I did put in my notes here that Jack Campbell was a surprise to me. Maybe he shouldn't have been put in there.
Yeah.
That was my first initial thought, because there are dudes, and I was surprised here. A couple names that I have here written down that got left off, I think, for the Detroit Lions. I think running back, who do they have in there for Bijan Robinson and Breece Hall? They left Jahmyr Gibbs off. Jahmyr Gibbs right now, I think, maybe having a better year than both of those guys. I could be wrong with that. I just feel if you're looking at under 23, Jahmyr Gibbs is 21 years old, and he's putting numbers up that
Breece Hall was on pace to be the offensive rookie of the year, but he tore his ACL. He's having a pretty good year
this year. He's decent year.
What about? Actually, go ahead.
Brian Branch.
Yeah.
Brian Branch should be on there. I don't know if you want to name some safeties. I know he slowed down a little bit, but if you're looking at like a Jack Campbell making first team, I think Brian Branch, I don't know if they just forgot about him. Are there some dudes?
There's some
Name
dudes.
a couple off.
Talanoa Hufanga from the 49ers.
Dog.
Kyle Hamilton on the Ravens. Javon Holland on the Dolphins.
Oh, yeah, that's tough.
This one was where he may take the place, but he's having a good year. Andre Cisco from the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I like Cisco.
Yeah, those are good names.
Yeah, Thong Song.
Are those all first teamers, or was there any other
No, that's
ones?
first and second team. Javon Holland was second team.
Okay.
How about I know this doesn't involve one of our players, but the cornerback under 25, first team Pat Surtain First team Sauce Gardner, second team Devon Witherspoon, second team Trent McDuffie. Wow. So
can you name real quick? Name to me the nose tackles or the interior.
Defensive tackle.
I would like to know. Yeah.
Oh, is it just the whole Eagles?
Because I have a couple
DTs?
names here. I have a name here.
First team Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis.
Who's after that?
Both of the Eagles.
Is it?
Yep. Second team. Oh no. Kalijah Cansey.
Oh.
And Keanu Benton.
Can we say then? I want to know because I feel like
Benton
Aleem
was
McNeil
available.
potentially could have been on this list.
Is he under? He's 23.
Aleem McNeil's 23 years old. I feel like he's having a better year.
He
than
should be on there over Kalijah
I
Cansey
just
and
think he's-
Keanu Benton. As good as they played in spurts, Cansey's been injured some. Keanu Benton has been good, but he hasn't been great.
It feels like a thing to where national media, ESPN, I don't know who did the article, to where maybe they didn't realize.
They're just hating on Michigan again.
I just don't know if they realized Aleem was 23. I don't know, but it just to me it feels like Aleem McNeil should be on that second team list.
Yeah.
Cansey producing early though. In his 8 games so far, he has 3 sacks and 8 tackles for losses, and that's one guy I know we all eyed in the draft process when we were talking about the D line.
What does he have again?
3 sacks, 8 tackles for losses, 8 quarterback hits in 8 games.
I think Aleem might beat him out.
Just from the samples, like if you're going to put Breece Hall in there over
he's beating him
Jameer,
out.
you got to put Aleem over
Yeah.
Kalijah.
That's a tough one too. Like Breece Hall is nice and all, but like you could easily argue Jameer Gibbs.
Yeah, I mean he's been special. How about J-Mo had no chance on this list?
No, I don't think so.
Except for maybe George Pickens, who's second team. But Jamar Chase, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson are your first team receivers.
Oh, he stood
under
no
23.
chance. Dang.
And second team is George Pickens, Puka Nakua, and Jordan Addison.
0 chance.
Not even close.
All those guys right now have had
boy.
better, and no chance. I don't know. I saw the list. I don't think anyone else is. I haven't seen anyone talk about this list. I was kind of shocked seeing it, and I was like, there's a lot of Lions players on this list. 4 dudes. Sam Laporta got first team. Penei Sewell first team. Aiden Hutchinson first team. And then I was just shocked to see Jack Campbell. And that means people from the outside looking in, Broder, they might have a positive outlook on Jack Campbell.
I still have confidence that Jack Campbell is going to work out long term. Like I think he's going to be a great NFL linebacker. And these are just it's there's a lot being thrown at him right now, and it just hasn't come out smooth quite yet. But I think Jack Campbell's going to be great. It just might not happen this year.
Massive opportunity though, Broder, coming
this
up
weekend.
obviously with Anzalone out. This is when we would love to see Jack Campbell make that step. Starting right now against the Saints, especially against Kamara. You got to stop him to stop this team.
Without a doubt. Oh, seeing Carter and Jordan Davis there hurts.
And I'm
This
salty
move.
said undrafted linebackers play better than Jack Campbell.
Ivan Pace. No, it's true. Ivan Pace Jr. is undrafted.
Who has better stats though this
Ivan
year?
Pace Jr. has been a better linebacker. He's been a freaking stud.
I'm gonna get
Undrafted.
I'm in the flannel spot from the morning show. Let's talk about who's got better
This is
stats.
where stats don't mean shit.
I'm just asking.
Ivan Pace has played better than Jack Campbell this year. Book it.
All right, fair.
It's not even
Has
close,
he been in a
to be
better
honest with
position?
you. What?
Has he been in a better position?
No. I mean, what do you mean?
More snaps, like
probably.
Yeah, that's the thing. Jackson not in his natural position. Sam, like
You're just making up excuses
No,
for
I'm
Jack
just-
without actually. You don't watch a single snap of Ivan Pace, have you?
No, I have. I watched about 500 of them.
Okay.
He probably has not
What
played
team's he on?
500. Minnesota Vikings.
Team he played with in college.
Actually, I do not know that.
Cincinnati.
Shout out Cincinnati. Cincinnati's taken a drop off since joining the Big 12.
It's been really fickle down there.
All right, let's hit break a little early here because the next segment here that might take us 2 segments. We're gonna go into our heat check here. We're gonna break some teams down. Lions right now they're preparing for a playoff. They're preparing for a little bit of a playoff push here. They're gonna have to go up against some teams. Whether they're gonna play the Vikings in the playoffs, Seahawks. We don't know who it is. And just looking at the NFL as a whole, Broder, I think the NFL is wide open.
It is.
I'm going to be completely honest. I think things are wide open.
10 to 12 teams with a quarterback. The other ones are in flux.
No one. I mean, obviously the Eagles and the 49ers are really, really good right now. But I still think they're beatable. We've seen them beatable. So we're gonna break down every team in the NFC.
And we need
AFC.
chat interaction on this one. We want to hear what you guys think, hot or cold, coming
If
up.
they're hot, if the team's heating up, or if they're cooling down, and you think they're going to end up losing their year. But Broder,
yes,
tell us about it.
I'll tell you about Feldman. Because Booner since 1996, Feldman Automotive. They've been driven to provide a first-class, convenient car buying experience. They call it the Feldman Advantage. They got 18 locations, so there's got to be a dealership in your backyard somewhere. Just visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Oh, I guess Premier Pet Supply just came up behind me. Catch Woodward Sports Network live every other Monday at Feldman Chevrolet of Novi. It's Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer, Feldman Chevrolet.
And then, if you guys want a great defense, head over to Guardian Alarm. They have customized solutions from real experts. They're professional technicians. They take the time to recommend security and automation solutions that are specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. You can give them a call anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian Alarm team member, they will stay on the phone as long as needed. That is technology that is backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that has been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. For a great defense, make sure you call that number right above me, 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, dry-aged beef, and Wagyu beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Just visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks or order them online at fairwaypacking.com.
All right, we are back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you guys all tuning in here. Make sure you guys hit that like button. I don't know if it's just my side frozen, but on my end, we've been at 44 likes for the last 30 minutes.
I got 61.
Okay, yeah, my end's just frozen. Everything over here on my end, whether it's the audio sound or it's my computer freezing, everything is going bad for me tonight. But guess what? I'm not like the Pistons. We're going to persevere and put on a show for you guys here tonight. Let's get into it here. Hit that like button for us. If we're at 61, by the end of this segment, can we all please get to 75 here? And then we're going to hit 100 by the end of the show. Appreciate you guys here in the chat. See Chris Platty. Appreciate you tuning in. Tyler Chevet. Uncle Neil Soft Beat, E-Fog, Eduardo, Justin. We got everyone here tonight. Let's get into this. Phil, shout out.
Peaceful Tim.
We're going to go around the NFL a little bit here. Let's go around the NFL. We might have to do this a little quicker than we normally would because I have a lot of teams I wrote down on both sides of the conferences here. But I wanted to get a feel because I truly believe that the NFL, like I said before, the Eagles, 49ers, tough teams. They've shown they can be beaten. The Eagles, yes, they only have one loss, but they're in every game. Like, they are battling every game. So I think when the playoffs come along, if you look at this list that I wrote down here, there are teams that are going to have a chance to make a run at it, and there's teams that could make a run at it and that won't even be in the postseason.
Gotcha.
That's going to happen.
So is this hot and cold deciding? What is the hot and cold for?
So hot. If I say let's start with the Eagles right now. Let's say hot. If they're hot, like the Eagles are hot. They're heating up right now. They're 10-1. They're steaming. If you're like, hey, lukewarm a little bit, they're kind of heating up, but they keep going back and forth. And then cold is obviously, hey, this team probably has no chance to make a run at it. They're cold. They're trending downwards. Things aren't looking good for them. So let's just start out Eagles. Hot. Can we agree?
Hot. Yeah, they're firing.
All right, I just want to get that. And same with 40. I think of 49ers as well. We can kind of take them out.
Yeah, definitely.
They're hot. Let's go here. The next team up, the Cowboys. Where are you at with them?
They're really hot right now.
Now, do you think that stays hot? Or?
I don't. I just think right now they're very hot.
Okay.
Like they're playing well on both sides of the ball. They're going to sneak into not sneak into the playoffs. They're going to make the playoffs. I just think at some point in these next 6 games, we're going to see them do something stupid again.
Yeah, but I do think like the Cowboys are a team where right now they're hot. If they stay this in the playoffs, they're
one of the best teams in the NFL if they keep playing like this.
And I know it's like it's crazy because it's the Cowboys. We don't want to get fooled, but it's still
to be honest. The fool usually reigns on Dak Prescott. See what I did there? But this is the best defense that they've had in years. So that's what's keeping me a little closer to them for.
And Andrew Jones, Cowboys have had an easy schedule.
They have.
Which I do agree with. But I said this again yesterday.
So Lions.
I said that to Jeff and Lucas and Flannel in the morning show in their chat, and they right away came back at me. Go look at the scores of those games. They've dominated.
Yeah.
30-point wins in the NFL.
45-10. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You don't win like that in the NFL if you're not good.
Next.
The Minnesota Vikings.
Cold. I don't think they had a lukewarm. I think they were either going to be hot and just make a push with Josh Dobbs, or they're going to be exposed and they're going to go the other way. They didn't look good against the Bears.
If they would have won last
magic.
week, they had that 5-game win streak. If they would have won, I might have put them lukewarm.
Oh, yeah.
To where it's like, you don't really want to face a team like that in the playoffs. But they versus the Bears.
Yeah, I like these cold emojis in there. You can't lay an egg like that.
Shout out to Nick too. I'm going to give Nick some credit here. It's that I did say I was worried, and I still am a little worried because it's a division game and you're going on the road, and you've seen the Vikings. They can pull things together.
Oh, even if they're cold, that game's not a gimme.
No, but shout out to Nick too, because Nick was like, "This team might not like." They're on a 5-game winning streak, and Nick was like, "Yeah, they might not be real."
Yeah, shout out Boone.
They might not.
You. Yeah, I said they weren't real. I don't believe in Josh Dobbs. They were having this magical run. They finally just fell back down to earth.
This is an interesting one here. The Seattle Seahawks.
Wow.
Because they did just lose, and they lost to a contender in the 49ers, but they lost bad, and they did not compete.
I'm going to go lukewarm.
Okay.
I don't think they haven't gotten hot for me this season. They haven't gotten cold. Like, every time I think they're going to make a jump, they just stay right there. And they're not a team I really want to run into, but I also think anybody can beat them also, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go with lukewarm.
And Eduardo said Seattle can be 6-8 real quick. I'm going cold.
Okay.
I know they have a good football team. And I'm starting to get to the point to where I might think that Seattle, like if the Lions play them at home, I know we lost them once. It's a team that I'm not going to be as worried about. I'd rather play them than the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm not scared of them or worried based on what they did to us in the past. I just think they have a good team. Like I think they're coached well. They got weapons on offense. They got more and more weapons on defense. Devon Witherspoon's playing great.
If you want to talk about a team like with the Lions and then our fan base, we talk about this a lot. The last 3 or 4 weeks, struggle and everything. If you want to talk about a fan base and a team that's struggling right now, the Seattle Seahawks have lost 3 of their last 4. Just like us, they lost to the Ravens 37-3. They beat a bad Commanders team 29-26, and then they lost to a Rams team, I believe. And I could say this, I think. Oh no, with Stafford, he was playing. But they lost to a Rams team 17-6, and then they got dominated at home by the 49ers.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about a team that's like on the downwards, I think you should put that team in there. And I think, to me, I'm going to go cold. You might go lukewarm.
Yep.
I'm going to say this team's cold right now. They're trending the wrong way.
Thank you. Next.
They play the Cowboys and the 49ers again, back-to-back. So they might have a 3-game losing streak.
2 L's real quick.
Very quick. Next team. Do you want to? I don't want to do these two teams. I don't want to do Saints and Falcons.
Let's go real quick answers. We won't even
cold.
Saints?
Both, yeah.
Cold.
I just think that whole division cold.
Yeah.
I'm
Falcons?
not worried. Yeah,
cold.
I'm not worried about the division.
Yeah. Saints.
Move on from that one?
Yeah.
All right. Last one here in the NFC, and then we'll go to break and come back because the AFC has a ton of teams. Detroit Lions.
Lukewarm.
That's where I want to go to.
Yeah.
Cold.
You think they're cold?
I do think they're cold.
3-1 in that stretch?
I'm saying right now they're cold. They need to come back out hot.
Fair. Right. You're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have lost the Bears game and then did lose the Packer game.
But they
didn't lose.
Yeah, they lost their last game.
What I keep telling myself is all in one week.
To win.
Like it was a bad week.
True.
Good teams find a way to win.
Yeah, and they won 1-1.
Jalen, Detroit Lions, hot, cold. Warren,
cold.
Cold.
Wow.
You heard it from the
Booth
Booth
boys
boys.
hate the Lions, it feels like.
No, don't put that out there.
Well, yesterday you guys were doing this as well.
Don't do that.
No, we're just
You
not.
guys-
they
hey.
got to show us a little something.
I'm not gonna agree with the Lions 24/7. I can't do it.
Which is fair. We can go
I
at 'em.
can't do that. So
That's fair.
Room temperature, says Flint Town CJ.
I like
room
that.
temperature.
I
yeah.
like room temperature.
Definitely.
I like that. All right, let's hit break. When we come back, we're gonna get into the AFC. With the AFC, there's a lot of teams, so we're gonna go through it a little quicker. Maybe we could take some time. We have a full 10
let's
minutes.
go around the horn and we'll just be quick.
Tell us though about Mark White.
Mark White, because when you're buying and selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process allows you to jump really, really high. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty? That's exactly what you can do with the Mark White & Associates minute-by-minute listing agreement. Visit markwhitesales.com or call 248-290-8242, markwhitesales.com, where flexibility meets success.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Just in time for football. Glorious! Cannabis is dropping a new ice-water bubble hash-infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good it's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in the honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice-water pre-rolls, you are missing out. So smooth. Find them at Dispo Dispensary for 25% off. Check them out online at www.gloriouscanada.com.
All right, welcome back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you guys hit that like button for us. We're at, guess what it's frozen on my screen? Guess what it's at? This
69.
is not a joke. That is dead serious.
Why'd you ask me that?
Because I just figured you would, if I said guess this number, you would know. Is it at 69 right now, actually?
Yeah.
All right, make sure. Let's get that up. I thought it just froze. I thought we were stuck at 69.
169.
Let's get up to 100 here before the end of this segment.
If we get to 169, we'll convince Hendon Hooker to change his number from 12 to 69.
You will do that in the building.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll do whatever it takes.
All
I'll
right.
shave my head.
Okay, let's get to 169. He'll shave his head. If we get to 169, Broder will shave his head. That's a fact. All right, let's get into it. Let's keep this thing rolling here. AFC teams, Broder. We are doing heat check right now. Are teams hot? Are they warm? Are they cold? Where are they trending? And I think it's good for. I think as a playoff team, we're allowed to start doing this. Usually in the past, you can't do it. Like we're just talking about draft probably right now.
Yeah,
now
we've been talking about draft for a week, for a month.
Now the Lions they're good, and now we're able to kind of look at other contending teams and teams in the playoffs and be like, all right, which way are they trending? What do we have to work out from? Miami Dolphins.
Lukewarm. Too warm.
Don't hate that.
Hot. Getting hot.
Getting hot.
Yeah, I do like that they beat the Jets. Like that they scored points against. They scored 29 points against the Jets. There's something I just don't trust them yet. Their offense is incredible when it's on. Is it going to be on, not in Miami?
I'm gonna go warm as well, and I'm gonna tell you why. They've beat every team that they're supposed to beat. Guess who they've lost to? They've lost to the Bills, the Eagles, and the Chiefs. Every time they get up to a versus a contending team, they lose. That is a fact. You can't take that away from them. They just lose. Every time they come across the challenge, it's a loss. They're going to win versus the Commanders. They're going to beat the Titans. They're going to beat the Jets. And guess what? They play at home versus the Cowboys. They're going to lose that game. And then they play the Ravens. They're going to lose that game. Then they play the Bills. Going to lose that game. They can't beat good teams. I'm going to go warm until they get to that Cowboys game. And if they can prove to me they can beat a good team, I will put them hot.
I got them hot right now.
Oh!
I mean, they didn't beat obviously two great teams, but I think they're going in the right direction after coming back down to earth a little bit. They're back on the up and up.
They're just like the Lions. To me, this is the Detroit Lions.
But they're coming off 2 wins compared to...
Oh, yeah, but the Lions have came off 2 wins at one point this year.
Okay.
They've won 4 straight at one point this year.
Let's not get defensive now.
No, I'm just saying, like, this is literally the Miami Dolphins equals the Detroit Lions. Like, they win the games they're supposed to, and they've lost to the Seahawks, the Ravens.
I think a little higher of the Lions, but
I don't think so. I think it's like that's like that tier that the Lions are in.
I think beating the Chiefs alone just puts them half.
Oh, you're saying the Lions are ahead?
Yeah, he was saying the Lions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, I mean, I just think they're in that same tier to where there's contenders, and then there's this next group, and it's like Dolphins, Lions, Cowboys. That's where I go.
They're right on the fringe of my pretenders. I don't think the Lions are pretenders, but I think they're on the fringe of contenders. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just like this Dolphins team.
Oh no, I don't have a take.
Nothing with the Dolphins.
You're not gonna like it. So I'm not.
Miami, the city, the come and go.
He's gonna get defensive.
It's okay, every day like a Mardi Gras.
Lions.
I'll just leave it alone, bro.
Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills. Lukewarm, trending the opposite way.
Yeah, I'm gonna go cold with them.
Yeah.
They keep getting in these games and they keep dropping them. Don't know what to do with my Buffalo Bills, man.
Yeah, that was a tough one last week.
They pull me in and then they just throw me back out. It's like I'm a bass and they just catch me and then they just take me and throw me all the way back in the water.
We were all pulling
They're good
for
at reviving.
Yeah, dude, come on, not today.
Yeah, Nick, why'd you say that?
We were all pulling for the Bills. They let us all down there.
Yeah, I think they're cold. Ravens. This is an interesting one. I'm gonna go hot. And I think they're easily they can flip to warm because they have Mark Andrews out.
Yeah,
I'm just waiting for that game to where they show that they're going to struggle without their number one weapon. But I'm going to go hot right now. You can't take it away from them.
Hot. I'm in. Yeah.
What about okay? Ready, boys?
Yep.
Pittsburgh Steelers. Kenny Pickett.
Wow.
I'm going hot. They just keep finding ways to win. Matt Canada fired. Guess what? Offense, bounce back, 300, 400 yards, whatever it was. I think this team, with that defense they have, you put out an average offense, and you're going to win some football games. They're sitting there at 7-4, coming off a big win. They have a great schedule heading up. They're going to end up getting a decent. I think they might be able to get a couple wins for a good seed. Nick?
Yeah, I mean, the Steelers are playing really well. Quick little disappointing 2-2. Rangers, wings.
What?
Jalen, to you.
Oh.
How do you predict that?
Dude, what? We're watching it up here.
We must be on a delay.
He's the best in the world.
I'm the best in the world. No, disappointing. Wings got to bounce back, step it up here with the last 5 minutes. Steelers obviously picking up some big wins. I think they're hot.
They're going up, man. They're going up yonder. They're gonna probably go 5-1. Is it 6 games left?
Yeah.
They're gonna go probably 5-1. Wow. Have you seen their schedule? Like, half the quarterbacks are hurt. And this is Mike Tomlin, dude. I'm a big Mike Tomlin guy. So.
How they're 7-4 is beyond me. Oh, they got Cardinals, defense. Patriots, Colts, Bengals, Seahawks, Ravens.
They're gonna win a lot of games.
Okay, maybe 4-2. They might lose to the Seahawks.
Depends who's resting their players. Who next?
Next is the Kansas City. I've got 2 left. The Kansas City Chiefs.
Ha!
Really?
They're always. They won. Yeah, no hot.
They did win. Yeah. It's just they have not been winning. I mean,
no, they get the benefit of the doubt from me.
Eagles
I won't even go into
analysis. They probably
analysis.
should have won that, losing to the Broncos. I'm going to go hot as well. I think this is a Chiefs team that's not the best Chiefs team we've ever seen, but I think it's one of those teams to where they're going to compete at the end of the year. They're fighting for a 1 seed still, which is crazy to think from this Chiefs team.
Eduardo O'Neill makes a good point about the Steelers real quick. Says Steelers have this thing called a pass rush. That's how. That is a good point. Arguably the best, if not top 2 defensive player in the league.
They have a defense.
Dang.
All right, last one here, and then we're going to go to break. Denver Broncos, Broder.
Hot.
Hot.
They're so hot right now, and I don't know if they're for real,
hard, JB.
but they are so hot right now.
I want to see here too with the Denver because we play them in 3 weeks now.
This Bears, then the Broncos.
They play the Texans, which they should win, and then they play the Chargers, which they could win. The Broncos could come into Ford Field on a 7-game. Wait, they have 5 right now. A 7-game win streak. That is a thing.
With
the Denver
streak
Broncos,
busters.
they could come in on a 7-game win streak, and that might get flexed. I believe it. The Broncos right now are hot. A lot of people hate them. Lucas is the one. He came in here and sat in here yesterday on the show and was like, they're frauds. They're frauds. You win 5 straight football games. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to.
I don't know enough about the team, like the full roster, but they have some dudes. Like they didn't trade away any of their dudes.
Yeah.
And they have Sean Payton.
They almost did.
You put those together,
they're
and
not a
things can
bad
happen.
team.
They
Like
almost did.
When you look at them on paper, they're not a bad team. Their secondary is out cold. Like they're not a bad team at all. And Russell Wilson, I can't stand the pastor guy. But man, he's having one of the better seasons out of all the QBs this season. So I'm
having one of his better seasons of his career.
They're gonna end up in the playoffs.
Oh, 100%.
And they're gonna cause havoc because Sean and Russell on the same page now. It's gonna be bad in the AFC. Man.
I mean, they've got wins on their schedule. They played the Texans, the Chargers twice, the Patriots, and the Raiders. They have wins on their schedule. All right, let's hit break, and when we come back, we'll hit mailbag here and finish this thing off. Before we go, make sure you guys hit that like button. Nick, tell us about Planet Fitness.
Yes, sir. You know what it is. Black and yellow, black and yellow. Are we good to go?
We're good.
All right, Planet Fitness. It's home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get this all for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, this is the Planet Fitness close by, and there are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, check it out.
Check it out.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like a landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equip Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
All right, let's talk about it. Outdoor Equipment Company. It is the official equipment provider of the Woodward Sports Network. Michigan-grown, family-owned, bad boy mowers, tractors, steel handhelds, and even weed whippers. They have Liberty trailers, Generac generators, Snow X plows, and salters. They have it all. Make sure you guys check it out. You can buy it. You can rent it. It is 0% financing. They deliver right to your doorstep. That is over at OutdoorEquipCo.com. All right, mailbag time, baby. Let's go. Welcome back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Wings are in an absolute battle right now. Pistons lost by 30 tonight, and we are sitting here. We're doing mailbag. We're talking Lions. Basically, the whole show we did a little bit here. Make sure you guys hit that like button as well. I think we're at 76 right now. Am I the only one seeing that?
No, there are 2 people. I'm seeing that.
76. All right, let's get it. We've got over 100 people in the chat. Let's get all the way up to 100. If you haven't yet, hit that like button for us if you're watching here on the YouTube page. All right,
great questions in here already.
First one here. Freddie,
Send it.
If the playoffs started today, the Lions would face the Seahawks. I want that matchup to you guys. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I've come together that I'm like I would like the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I would like to beat them.
There were a few teams I'd prefer. Like I'd rather play the Vikings or the Falcons. No, not the
Saints.
Saints. Oh yeah, Falcons.
Whoever's in the.
But I'd rather play the Seahawks for sure than the 49ers and the Eagles, Cowboys.
The thing is like you're gonna be fighting for a 2 seed. You're probably say you get the 3rd seed because if all these teams win out, you don't have the tiebreaker. If you get the 3rd seed, you're probably gonna end up versus Seahawks.
Definitely.
That's just what it is. That's what's going to come down to. Because then the 4th seed's going to play Dallas. The Seahawks will probably have the next best record.
Fair. Answer 14 mailbag. Over under Lions have 5 Pro Bowlers this year.
Over under 5?
Yeah.
Oh, over.
I'm gonna go
for sure.
I'm gonna go over too. I think they have 5.5 Pro Bowlers.
Do you think they have 5.5? Who's a half?
This is just making a betting joke.
Funny.
Yeah, I think they have 6 or 7.
Can we name off some real quick? Jared Goff.
Goff, Sewell, Ragnow, Gibbs or Montgomery, St. Brown, Laporta. There's just offense.
How many is that? 6 on offense?
Hutch, McNeil.
That's 2. I think
maybe Anzalone if he doesn't miss much time.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
So yeah, there's more than 5.
8 or 9.
Let's
you
go.
Almost might get 10 there, fellas. How about that?
How about it?
Let's see what else we have
Peaceful
here.
Tim, why are we not having a Friday show? Booth Boys, there is a holiday party going on in studio that we're not allowed to have our show during.
We tried different avenues, did not work out. We wanted to make sure, but we'll be back Monday, though. We'll be back. I know our Lions pregame show will actually be tomorrow for Woodward Nights.
Yes.
Woodward Nights. We're going to be doing all Lions Saints tomorrow, Thursday night, 8 to 10 p.m. So make sure you guys tune in back tomorrow. God hates cowards. Mailbag. If Jack and Derek hold the fort, does Thor get another week of rest? That seems to be what this regime does. I think that's smart, being as healthy as you can be in the playoffs. See, I don't hate that because they have done that for some guys. I think no matter what, even if they don't hold it down or hold it down, I think he's going to end up being out for the Bears game.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling. I don't know what it is, but the way they're talking about it, like he's going to miss some time, sounds like it's at least 2 weeks.
And I don't mind giving that Bears game to Jack Campbell and Derek Barnes again. Like, let them in the fire. It's cold outside. It's a Jack Campbell type game, if that makes sense. You know, let him chase around Justin.
I saw one here. Phil said, what size shoe do you guys wear?
Me? I wear 13s.
I wear 14.5.
What you got, Nick?
I wear 9.5s.
Damn.
You know what they say about people with big shoes?
Yeah, you know what they say.
It depends though.
Small feet.
I could
depends
wear,
on
I could wear like 11.5, 12, and 13.
Gotcha. In the hot
So
tub,
I have the biggest
cold
feet
tub.
here.
Yeah.
I have the biggest feet at 14.5.
Yeah.
Booner, you do not 14.5, bro.
Bigger than Oscar Pistorius.
Huge.
Wings going on the power play
Got
here,
some
boys.
big
Let's
shoes.
go.
LFG.
Let's go. Power play, 2 minutes. Need to capitalize here with 6.5 left. 2-2 game. Wings need to show up here. This is why we got Patty Kane. He's not in tonight. Either is Larkin. Somebody else has to step up.
Paul Thomas, mailbag, total wins Lions get on the season. Is it 11, 12, 13, or 14?
I'm going to go 12 for it.
I'm going to go 12.
I'm going to go 12 as well. I think 4-2 is perfect. I still think I think they have a chance to go 5-1. That's not out of the realm and out of the picture. But I think realistic, if we're going to be honest, I do think they drop one of those away games, and I think you might see them slip up again. But 12-5 is a great year.
It is.
Let's see.
Joseph Van Broder, what was your best pitch? Change up.
Can you throw it to me real quick?
Change up.
No, throw me the change up.
I can't throw it here.
Just nice and easy.
Change up.
Just not fast or
hold the grip. I taught the guys the grip earlier in the year. I throw a splitter with my pinky and my ring finger.
I'm a good catcher. Phil, mailbag, does Bugs look out of shape or overweight? Broder, you spoke with him today.
He looks as fit as I've seen him all year.
Love to hear that.
So he looks good to me.
Ooh, I like this one. Full Slate Farms. Does Jack Campbell have 10 tackles versus Saints? Over or under? Give me the over.
I'm going over.
Over.
Give me the over.
Everybody has 14.
I think he gets 10 plus. I think this might be one of those things to where he does show out, and you're like, oh, now we know why he was a first round pick.
He might have a bigger game. Stupid. He might have like 14, 15, like a Quay Walker type game.
That would be huge. That'd be
all
huge.
it is, especially if the wide receivers are out, it's going to be chasing down Alvin Kamara all day long.
Bruce Bedrock said, "What up, Woodward Sports?
Bruce!
Just left the Pistons-Lakers game. Bruce, what's up?
Sorry, man.
I'm sorry you had to watch that.
I
feel
hope you
bad.
didn't buy my tickets.
I saw last year. I don't know who was at the game, but I was at the Lakers game last year where Beef Stew and LeBron got into it, and there was just blood everywhere. That was a great game to be at.
Sold those two.
Hey, Peaceful
I got a
Tim, a
tweet.
Woodward Award show. What?
I got a tweet. I said on Twitter, if you want to break up with your girlfriend or boyfriend, take them to a Pistons game. You know what I mean? I promise you they're never going to talk to you again.
Put them up on the Jumbotron.
And it's going crazy right now, too. Fun fact.
That is funny. God Hates Cowards says Booner is 14 and a half shoes at 5'8". That is amazing.
You called Booner Broder.
How about this?
Rubble.
It's crazy.
Barney Rubble. How about this? Sly Cooper 04 mailbag. You guys ready? I want all you in on this.
2, 3, 2. Fuck. Oops. My bad. Wings blew it. My bad. Broder, go ahead.
Mailbag. If the NBA gave you, this is from Sly Cooper 04. If the NBA gave you the option, would you rather keep the Pistons players and ship the front office to Seattle, or would you keep the front office and ship the players off?
The Pistons? I would ship the front office.
100%.
Front office.
They include coach and owner?
No, front office.
We're talking like staff versus players?
It's a great question. I don't care either way.
I'll do it. Full staff versus players.
Get Tellum out of there.
Please.
Get Tellum. Get Weaver.
Just give us new
Gores.
leadership.
Yeah,
man.
like Jesus Christ.
Damn,
I can deal with the
dropped
players.
40.
Leadership, they just going to keep bringing in bad players. At some point, something's got to change.
Yeah.
Let's do one or two more here. Do we have any more? Let's see. What else do we have here?
I don't see one coming in. If next person who gets the question in, it'll be red.
Someone said we need an all-star power forward. We need an all-star wing.
Big
That's what
ass
we
shotgun.
Let Lori Marcus.
Zach Levine?
Yeah, Boo
We
Boys
need a wing.
insane.
Let's go.
Lori?
Big
How are you going to get him, though?
shotgun.
Boo Boys insane.
How are you going to get Lori, though?
Kane did not play.
Man, you better. Hey,
They have all guards.
Hey.
Jaden Ivey's your best trade.
you might just trade Ivy and Stu and Bagley or something.
But they're so guard heavy. Like they don't need guards.
I don't know.
Don't get me wrong. It's to be
For
phenomenal.
that.
It'd be hard to do, but if that ever happens, I'll be satisfied.
Make a move.
Mailbag.
Troy
Why is
Weaver,
Jared Goff?
Make a move. What did he say?
Make a move.
Why is Jared Goff the GOAT?
He's jerking.
Pro Bowl quarterback. All right, appreciate you guys. On your way out, hit that like button for us. Let's get you 100 here when we end the show. Appreciate all of you guys tuning in. Tomorrow, again, announcement, no show Friday for Woodward Nights. There will be shows. Everyone's doing their show. Woodward Nights will not be doing our show. We will be back, though, tomorrow for our Detroit Lions Woodward Nights pregame. Detroit Lions versus New Orleans Saints preview. Make sure you guys lock back in. Tune in tomorrow. Morning Woodward Show. B to E, E and E. Heavyweights. And then the boys. Woodward Nights. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you guys.
Thank you.